here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Hey, good morning. How's everybody doing? It is a pleasant day to be out on the highways. It is a pleasant day to be here in the ESPN Arkansas studios, chopping it up. A couple of menches talking sports. Well, a third mensch over here, too, which would be Christian Johnston, who I guess gets top billing today, Matt Jones, which puts me after you. I'm Phil Elson. And we got you for the next 3 hours on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. And Matt Jones, be careful over here. I don't know if you want to get too close to the unit because he, how many energy drinks already? He's had 2 energy drinks, and you handed him a ginger juice shot, which looked like he ate a bug's brain or something with the look on his face.
Like three or four big swigs to get it. And
Red Bull's going to come out with one of those one of these days.
That's yeah. That's the only way that he'll drink something and make it look like it's actually tasty for him. Oh man, great to be with you. Got my own personal 6-day road trip coming up here with baseball tonight and tomorrow in Fayetteville, and then out to South Carolina for the weekend. I guess the basketball team's got to be traveling today, don't they? You need a day to get yourself acclimated to the West Coast and get yourself a full day before you got to worry about the game. Get your scouting report in. Get your first practice on the court at the Rose Center if they let you in there. And so like the tournament's already ready to start, Matt Jones. I feel like I want to do part of my bracket today here on the show because I just started looking at it late last night after the conclusion of the semifinal between Venezuela and Italy, which, man, we're going to have a good championship for the World Baseball Classic tonight, too.
Well, too bad Ireland can't be in it. Happy St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
Did they have a team in the World
No,
Baseball?
no, I don't know much about Irish baseball. Yeah.
They play with a potato. With a patata.
Well, you can probably shape it to however you want to. I think I may have heard about a potato being used on a baseball field before, a long time ago.
The Notre Dame Irish play baseball.
There you go. Sure. They're fighting Irish. Why not? But
You got your green on? I don't think I wore any green today.
Go.
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
You got a green belt.
Got a belt. Unit wears green.
I don't think I'm in on any of the spirit. I got a sweatshirt in the car. It's green. It's a dark green. It's not that Kelly green that I think you're really supposed to wear when it comes to today's celebration. There, look at what else he brought. He's got a lime green pen.
You know, the first Irish celebration, St. Patty's Day, the color they used was blue, though. So there's a little fun fact trivia for you.
I had no idea. Look at that. Dropping little knowledge hints on us today. Well done. I don't know. I was sure there's going to be green beer and all of that, green hats at the game today and everything. But how else am I supposed to, quote unquote, celebrate St. Patrick's Day? Supposed to get a corned beef sandwich, a Guinness. I don't even ever drink it. Can I go to Harps? Harps works, right? I'll drink a Harps instead.
That'll work. Have you been? So I've been to Chicago years ago. Chicago's a heavy Irish influence. I mean, they got a lot of different influences in Chicago, but I was up there for St. Patty's weekend and was there when they turned all the rivers green walking across it. It was pretty cool to see.
They never did that in Pittsburgh, but they should because Pittsburgh has been designated Ireland's NFL team, the Steelers. And they played there last year, 2 seasons ago. I forget. I think that was 2 seasons ago. And Dan Rooney was ambassador to Ireland, appointed by President Obama. Yeah, I feel like maybe there should have been an Irish entry in this baseball. Why, if you've got enough people that play baseball off a tiny little sliver, like a half of a small island in the Caribbean, Dominican Republic, which is one of the, hey, that was great that the United States beat them the other day. How come we can't get enough Irish baseball players here? Doesn't make any sense. They playing rugby, soccer, probably playing soccer, aren't they, Matt? Is the Irish soccer team any good?
You know what? I'd actually take USA. You got Andy Robertson. They got more players in the Premier League than Americans, but we're even. We'll just put it that way. I might take America. Weston McKennie, Kristen Pulisic. You got Andy Robinson. That's an Irishman. The thing you get over there, we talked about this. Declan Rice could be an Irishman, but he chose to play for England. Some of those guys, when you're born in the United Kingdom, you can kind of go back a couple generations, and if you're good enough, you're going to play for England.
Right. Well, so you can graduate up a little bit, right? Oh, we can graduate up into, well, that's right, bases loaded beer hats. I've got a green bases loaded hat in the booth. That'll be good enough. I should have taken it with me. It actually looks perfect. It looks like the leprechaun on Lucky Charms box should be wearing that thing. I don't have the belt buckle though. If you can let me borrow your belt for tonight's baseball game, Matt.
I'm a 38 waist, so I don't know if that'll fit. What about Boondock Saints? Is that the Dropkick What's the most Irish movie? I know
Probably The Irishman.
We talked The Irishman that came out with Pesci. Yeah, I was
just on the name alone.
Yeah. Well, you can't be a made man if you're an Irishman, so that's how you kind of go into it.
I'm just going by title. Seriously, just going by title and nothing else. I was looking at the bracket. Do you realize that there is a bracket that has no SEC teams? Not a single SEC team that is playing in the East bracket. Meanwhile, there is almost not a full bracket, but to me, I want to call it the SEC bracket out Midwest, where you got Georgia playing St. Louis, Alabama playing Hofstra, Tennessee against the winner of SMU, Miami, and Kentucky is the number 7 seed against Santa Clara. 4 SEC teams there. You got a few where Arkansas is located as well. Mizzou being one of them, and then nobody over on the east side, not a single one. Meanwhile, you got all these legendary coaches out there too: Pitino, Self, Izzo, and Hurley on the that would be Dan Hurley on the east side. Talking about legendary coaches, his brother knows what it's like to win a national championship as a player. And I was trying to figure out anything that's unique about the South bracket, and I couldn't figure anything out other than it's Houston, and Houston gets to, if they make it to the Sweet 16, they get to play in their own home city. But that's because they are not even they're not a host. It's Rice that's the host. It's not too many of those cities that could claim something like that, where you could actually play in your hometown, but there's another university that's in the city that can host. It would be like Georgia playing in Atlanta, but not really, because Athens is an hour away. It's not right there. So I don't know. It doesn't give me any issue. I don't have a problem with Houston being sent there, because the committee has their principles and they have their the rules that they have to go by. And I remember reading about this last night. It was confirmed that Arkansas basically wins the SEC championship and gets sent all the way to Portland, with a whole bunch of other schools, by the way, that have to go even farther than Arkansas does. Decided that you can call the West bracket the mileage bracket, because 11 of the schools are nowhere near San Jose. Hawaii would be one of them. That would be 12, because I didn't count Hawaii because they're on the other side of the ocean practically.
Ron's favorite team.
Sure. No, I mean, Texas should be his favorite team, or is it going to be whoever Arkansas is playing?
He texted in go Rainbows the other day, so I think he's an Hawaii fan now.
I guess he is. Well, you want to do some of the bracket live on the show?
I've just started filling mine out. I wouldn't mind. We can do some here in the next segment or so. It's the Arkansas side. I've just started doing. I always start on the east.
That's always the toughest one for me. Is the team that I feel most emotionally invested in, and it's like when you do 2 or 3 brackets.
This is it.
We're just gonna do one.
Yeah.
Well, I got to do the one on Hit That Line, but let's just say I'll enter the same one from here that I'll put on Hit That Line for our bracket challenge. And I never know how to do that. It's like you want to go with your heart, you want to go with your head, but I think like with Arkansas, can't you do both? Can't you do both with this Razorback team, Matt? It's like last year, you'd feel, well, really, am I going to take this team all the way to the Elite Eight? And how close they ended up coming. This team, I think, is better than last year. Arizona looks like they could be awfully tough if you make it out of the first weekend, but I think Wisconsin could be pretty tough too. But, Matt, I think you could actually use your head and your heart and take Arkansas really far in this bracket, don't you think?
I have no trouble giving Arkansas a Sweet 16 matchup with Arizona. That's where I have to kind of delve into something, because
if Arkansas played Arizona 10 times, how many times?
Well, here's the truth. So,
ask Hugh Freeze.
Do they have the Love kid? Is it Caleb Love still there that transferred from Duke or North Carolina? I mean, I'm just trying.
Is one of their.
That's they're going to have guard play. They're going to have wings. They're going to have bigs. They don't have a lot of losses. Can we beat Arizona? 100%. Arkansas can beat it. Arkansas, I think, can beat any team in the country. War of attrition, foul trouble, not making mistakes. There's just stuff that comes into it. But when you have a guy like Acuff and Brazil, and then Malik Thomas and Billy Rich, I mean, those are 4 guys right there on the team. Malik Thomas, Brazil, Billy Richmond, and Acuff that will all play NBA basketball at some shape or form of it, but they will all play NBA basketball.
That
Not
Arizona,
everybody has 4 guys that are going to play NBA basketball.
and I don't know if Arizona does or not. When you look at the resume, they lost 2 games. It was back to back. One of them is at Fog Allen
How long ago?
by 3
Yeah.
on February 9th, and then the next one was against Texas Tech. I think that's before Toppin's injury, and that one went to overtime. I mean, and here's the other thing. I guess there are some dominant wins out there. I mean, they played a couple of really good teams to win their league championship tournament. Man, I mean, they beat Iowa State by 2, beat Houston by 5. I wouldn't say that it's a team that's got any deficiencies. But my whole idea here is like you want to go with your head and your heart, or you got to go with one or the other usually, or you're going to do 3 or 4 brackets, and then you can have one that's you're going to be researching, one that you go with your emotions and basically taking Arkansas all the way, right? I can't tell you how many times growing up that I would do 2 brackets because I had a friend who would do brackets. This was before the internet, kids, and he did this all at school. Andy Frankel did this at school, printed out hundreds of pieces of paper. It was all the same bracket. He gives them out. This is a school with like 1,500 people. I don't think everybody got one, but it felt like everybody did. Kid probably made $1,000 just by making this bracket. You had 3 of them, and I would always take one of them with Pitt going to the championship.
The only bracket challenge I've ever won, and this is no lie, was the year Kentucky won it with Anthony Davis. I had Kentucky winning it, and that's the only. So if I've done a bracket challenge, I usually, I think there's a couple years where I didn't do one, but let's say I've done 20 of them in my lifetime. I've only won one, and that's the year that Kentucky won it.
Well, I never won any of the brackets where I took Pitt to the championship. So I don't have to worry about that. I never even came close. But I did win one bracket. That was the Sean May championship team. I think what was it?
UNC.
2005, North Carolina. Yeah. Yeah, that was a Travelers staff bracket of people that were making about $18,000. So I don't know what we put in. I think I got about $250, which is about half a paycheck. And it was off season too, so it felt like it was money that could actually really spend instead of just taking it for ramen and peanut butter and jelly. That's exactly right. So I don't know what we're going to get for this, but I know this has to be my head, my heart, and my research bracket. But I don't even feel like doing the research.
I'm one side. I'm getting it done. I'll be done by this hour.
Is there a law of diminishing returns on the amount of time you spend researching your bracket, only to have the thing blown up the first weekend because you lose your champion or you lose 2 of your Final Four, and you literally wasted half a day. You probably enjoyed what you did.
The best is like you're looking at this Ohio State TCU matchup, and yeah, everybody's like, it's so tough. And dude, you got Duke winning the next round, but we struck. Like I actually looked at, I was like, well, who do they got? Ohio State has a guy averaging 19. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll take Ohio State.
I know how to research these teams. I do this every week for baseball. I do it every week during the football season for the football broadcast. I do it for every basketball broadcast, all of them. I'm not researching these teams for the tournament. Hell no. I got a life to lead. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just get it done by the end of the show today and just take it care of so I don't have to worry about the darn thing and you guys bugging me about it. Especially you, Unit, because you've had enough energy drinks to start bugging people about anything.
I had enough to do like 20 brackets.
Let's get it.
Oh my God! Watch him be asleep by the end of the show. By 2 o'clock, Unit over here is going to be snoring, drooling, and we're going to be answering the phones for him.
Fall asleep. I got another juice shot in there, so don't.
Oh man!
Going to have fun today on a Tuesday. We'll have Hall of Famer, Emmy Award winner, fisherman Clay Henry joining us at 12 noon for a couple of hours. College football with Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio. Bill does no basketball. No basketball. I listened to a good chunk of his show today on WNSR on my drive to our studios, and there wasn't it's like basketball season doesn't even exist. It was all football. So I got to ask him if he does a bracket. I'm sure I've asked the question before. I pretty much know the answer. Alyssa Orange from Varsity Vibe for a recap of some of the best championship performances from the state finals from last week. That'll come in about 15 minutes. And your calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline at 877-377-6963. Much more to get to. We'll be back in a moment.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back in 600 vehicles.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell's Lutz boxes are going to people's heads. Because once they experience the refined $5 box, opulent $7 box, and indulgent $9 box with the new Crispy Chicken Crunch Wrap slider, they start expecting everything to be as Lutz. Home, James. You know you don't have a chauffeur, right? Don't let the Lutz go to your head. Try Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lutz boxes today.
It's here, the ultimate challenge going on at the Lewis Automotive Group, and we're on a mission to sell over 600 vehicles, and we're getting extremely close. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, and more than $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back all month long. Get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models, and payments starting at only $199 a month. The ultimate savings, the ultimate selections, and the ultimate amount for your trade. The ultimate challenge going on only at the Lewis Automotive Group.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
While most people are playing for bragging rights, MyBookie is giving away $100,000 in their Madness Bracket Contest. This is about turning your ball knowledge into bankroll. Head to MyBookie.ag. Use code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and get your first bet covered up to $500. If it misses, activate your Bet Back bonus token and run it back. The madness only comes once a year, so don't just watch it, win it. Only at MyBookie. Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E. from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
Fat skinny man died of a big disease with a little name. By chance his girlfriend came across a needle and soon she did the same. At home there were 17-year-old boys and their idea of fun Being in a gang called the Disciples, high on crack, toting a machine gun.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back, and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Matt Jones, I'll bet you Prince made a pretty good bracket.
He was a hooper.
Absolutely. I don't know if he had a team, but I'll bet you he could put together a pretty good bracket, and he wouldn't just base it upon the teams that are wearing purple either. I mean,
TCU, he probably had them going at least to the Sweet 16.
Ooh, watch out if Stephen F. Austin would make it in there. Those Lumberjacks, they were made of purple. See, I figured out that making a bracket or finishing my bracket when I'm in a show with Matt Jones is just like eating lunch when I'm doing a radio show with him at one of the great restaurants that we have been doing our shows at in recent weeks, like Blue Ember Smokehouse in Little Rock or Great American Steakhouse and Sports Theater, All American Steakhouse and Sports Theater on Sunset in Springdale. Delicious burgers, by the way. He eats his whole meal in one commercial break. Just like he did his whole bracket in one commercial break. It takes me 3 hours to eat a steak, and I think it's going to take me 3 hours to do this bracket. Who do you have?
Well, I struggled the most with the Florida-Houston matchup to see who was going to go to the Final Four. I ended up going with my heart and went with Houston. And then I got Duke, Houston, Arizona, and Michigan in the Final Four. And I struggled with the Arizona-Arkansas game. And I didn't go with my heart. I went with my noggin.
Oh.
I'm not very smart, but so I had Arizona, Michigan, Duke, and Houston in the first 4 inches was okay.
That had to be a little bit of like a thorn in your side there. Just actually,
hey, there won't be anybody pulling for the Razorbacks more than I will be.
No kidding.
I'm trying to win a contest.
You're very competitive.
A little bit. Some people say that. I don't know why. I don't know where they get it from.
But if it comes to winning a bracket here, I think you expect to do it. But also, you did no research. You just know what you've seen.
I've seen none. The only two here's all. I haven't even seen Duke plays here. So here's all. This is my national championship. I missed the Duke Arkansas game. Hadn't went back and watched any of it. I've watched the Hogs play 24 games this year. So I've seen whoever they played against. That's all. I have watched zero other college basketball than what the Hogs have played. So don't take whatever I'm saying. I'm just going by based on records. Like if you have less than 4 losses, I mean, I almost did High Point over Wisconsin because they're 30-4. It's like, that could be a game they can win.
I don't look honestly. The more I look into Arkansas, Hawaii, I feel really good about the first round matchup. That's an older team. I get it. They've got a 7-footer who's their top scorer, defend a little bit differently, tough to rebound against on the offensive glass, but I just can't imagine that they're going to be able to stay in front of all the guys, Matt. They got to stay in front of too much quickness from this Arkansas team, and there is no you can put it in terms of, they haven't played a team that's like Arkansas. When you look at their resume, they haven't played many athletes like the athletes they're going to be facing.
Well, if you're Hawaii, so what has Arkansas done this year? We lead the country in dunks because we get stress-free points because we're more athletic. We got a couple pterodactyls. I mean, you think of Billy Richmond and even Wagner can get up. Brazil, we all know what he can do. Ewing gets a lot of dunks as well. Pringle. So we get a lot of dunks going on. I don't think athletically Hawaii has a chance. Their chance is slow the game down, limit possessions. I always go back to when I was at Jacksonville, we were trying to beat Peyton Manning and the Colts. You give Peyton Manning 11 possessions, you're going to lose. You got to limit him to 7. You got to slow the game down, run the clock, can't keep giving him the ball. So when you're not as athletic like Hawaii's going to be, man, you got to run that shot clock. You almost got to do a 4 corners offense. You got to keep everybody in front of you, really compact, and then hope you get a bad shooting night from the Hogs. That's kind of you got to kind of get a little lucky. So you stay compact, you slow it down, make them beat you from the outside because we got have you seen anybody this year stay in front of Billy Richmond? No. Anybody stay in front of Acuff? No. Even Malik Thomas, even though he's not as explosive, he's got handles and elusiveness. He got a little wiggle about
they'd have trouble staying in front of DJ.
Same thing.
And I mean they're going to be bigger in terms of size than Arkansas. I mean, they have good rebounding numbers, but if Arkansas can keep them to one shot, kick it out, get down the floor, any turnovers you create, if you're able to push it, this is a game where you can take advantage of an opponent's mistake because they're just going to beat them down the court on every one of those mistakes.
Don't give Hawaii 10 offensive rebounds. Exactly. Yeah.
All right, so I feel pretty good about moving Arkansas ahead.
We got to move it up one spot. I'm glad there we go.
I feel really good about that. You convinced me. I'll move Arkansas ahead of Hawaii, Matt. That's not even my heart. It's not going to be my heart. That's actually going to be my head. Thank you for making me feel like I might have watched a few of the games for this team this year. Now, what about Wisconsin and High Point? I printed out stat pages on these teams. I know Wisconsin is healthier now, I think, than when they lost a few games. Man, they have some big-time wins. They got some really big-time wins. A win at Purdue is nothing to sneeze at. This is a team that's also battle-hardened now. I think they've only played one home game in the last 2 or 3 weeks. It's either been on the road or the neutral site, wherever the Big Ten championship was played. And that's one of those programs. That's one of those programs that just wins a ton right now. I mean, I've already put – so the first thing I did on my bracket are like a set of – the committee says they've got principles for how they put a bracket together. There should be principles now for how you put your bracket together. You can start with the Sweet 16. That's what I've done in some cases. Like I'm moving Duke ahead. You have to put Gonzaga in the Sweet 16, right? I mean, they had that incredible stretch of them, and I moved Arizona ahead of the Sweet 16. I already moved Arkansas ahead too, Matt, because I want my heart to have the Arkansas-Arizona matchup, and then it's like by the end of the show, I'm going to have to figure out the West bracket, because that's going to be the last one.
I wrote in pencil. I might go back and change that. Man, I think Arkansas, that's a tough. I start looking at the number 1 seeds. I got Michigan in the national championship game. I like Michigan. My national championship game is Duke and Michigan. So 2 straight up blue bloods got them in there. But my final 4, I went back and changed it. I got Duke, Houston, Arizona, Michigan. I got Houston beating Florida to go to the Final Four.
I feel like I want to put Florida against Houston already in that Elite 8 matchup. It's just like it's so boring to put a 1-2 matchup right there, but Houston's going to get there, and I'm not worried about Florida and their loss against Vanderbilt.
Not worried about it.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I think Houston will be hungry and motivated against Florida from last year's game, and I think they win.
Yeah, see, that's a rematch home. I like it.
I like the championship.
Then I got Duke, Michigan State in the Elite 8 to go to the Final Four on the east side right here. How classic is that, man? That's just a classic matchup right there.
And all it took was being principled. Well, I think we are our own set of principles here for this. And by the end of it, the principle is somebody buys the whole group
a taco.
More than one.
Yeah. We usually go to Yo's over there.
That's right. That's what we'll do. That's what you can do when it comes time for Arkansas basketball on Thursday at 3:25. Of course, we'll have the tip-off right here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. If you're over at Joe's Grilling Cantina, this is going to be a great place to watch the game. Make sure you're wearing your Razorback gear. Half-price apps, cheap taps all throughout the game. We're going to have a great time today also for St. Patrick's Day. Even the daily Mexican-inspired specials and happy hour deals from 3 to 6 at Joe's Grilling Cantina. You can have the best fun watching the Hogs in the NCAA tournament and enjoy happy hour, fast, friendly service, all at Joe's Grilling Cantina. They're right across from Harps on 74th in Fort Smith. Get a look at joesfortsmith.com. Alyssa Orange from Varsity Vibe will join halftime right after this.
We've got standards in our program.
This is halftime.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now now and will include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Enclaves at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off and 4.9% financing for up to 84 months on this luxurious third-row SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
We're keeping Arkansas beautiful. Want to lend a hand? Don't be afraid to get them dirty. Every day, volunteers around the state are picking up litter, planting trees and wildflowers, recycling, and more. You know what these volunteers need most? Help. Volunteer today at keeparkansasbeautiful.com. Learn more about all our programs. A message brought to you by the Keep Arkansas Beautiful Commission, this station, and the Arkansas Broadcasters Association.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort. We're a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Since 1974, the folks in the River Valley have trusted Westark Yamaha in Fort Smith for quality and service you just can't find at those big box stores. Now expanding into zero-turn mowers, Westark Yamaha carries Bobcat, a high-quality commercial mower built to perform, and World Lawn, the best value in zero-turn mowers. Plus, they stock Husqvarna chainsaws and Red Max blowers and trimmers. Westark Yamaha services what they sell. Right now, get 0% financing on all mowers. Westark Yamaha, serving Fort Smith since 1974.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Well, Saturday night, switching down her drinks. She was born in a wild card. She was telling me wild things. She was telling me wild things. Street past 7-Eleven. It's close enough, so I spent the night. She grabbed my hand at the intersection. I spilled my guts at the red light.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Well, we're efforting Alyssa Orange, so if we get her, we'll put her on. If not, we'll just keep doing it right here. 877-377-6963, Group Hotline. Is there anything else you do a bracket for? There literally is no other competition that I know of. Do you do this for the World Cup once the Soccer World Cup shows up?
Yeah, you have that, but it's group play. It's more like an SEC baseball tournament, or Omaha. You kind of group play and then you get into to the tournament. There's a golf. And Clay, we're getting Fisherman Clay Henry on here in a little bit. He'll know if this still goes on, but there used to be a bracket challenge with golfers. The same exact thing, just like that. Head-to-head, move on to the next bracket. I think it might have been down in Mexico down there. And then what happened was you had some more upsets, like Tiger Woods get beat in the first round or something, and then you kind of with a lot of Cinderellas. And as much as we pretend to like Cinderellas, everybody wants the Goliaths in there.
So you need to have a Goliath against a Cinderella, right? Unless it's two Cinderellas, which doesn't happen too often.
But even teams like Gonzaga, they're not a Cinderella.
Oh, they're not.
Yeah,
of course they're not. That's they used to be the little engine that could. Now they're the big engine that's moving out of the little conference. They're Big 12 next year.
Would BYU be considered a Cinderella to kind of make a run?
No,
they're not, because they're Power 5, huh?
Not even just because they're Power 5, but if you've got that's a program, not just a basketball program, but football too. When you're funded the way they're funded, you're not an underdog anymore. It's like Indiana football is not going to be an underdog anymore.
I didn't think of it that
I don't
way.
think it's not like Indiana football outspent everybody last year, but I think they were at least middle of the pack where they were just Cinderella because of the brand name.
St. Louis is 28-5. I almost had them over Georgia. But it's like you kind of St. Louis 28. Or would they be a Cinderella, the Pelicans?
Yes.
Okay.
Any school out of the Atlantic 10 that didn't finish with only 2 or 3 losses for the year, right? It's like when Houston came out of the American Conference. If you come out of the American Conference, yeah, I think you still have a Cinderella aspect to it. It's like a little difficult to think of a program coached by Kelvin Sampson as being a Cinderella.
And they were just there last year.
Right, yeah. I mean, and they're not American anymore. And now that's a program that basically leads the whole way for that athletic department.
Well, let me ask you guys this. When you're looking at Arkansas, do you base like I said, I watched Arkansas play a lot of games. And the 2 of the teams I thought gave Arkansas, but here we get into this whole thing because it's like the games were so long ago, but 2 of the teams that I thought really gave Arkansas fits, Michigan State. So do I weigh that heavy because environment, they don't lose at home. It was early in the year, but when I watched that, you were like, man, that was a tough. And then Houston, I watching Arkansas play Houston. You're like, man, Houston is good too. Like just matching it. But are we not totally different than we were like 58 days ago?
Right. That's exactly right. You can't look at something that happened in November and say that's indicative of March. That was November. Alyssa's with us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Good morning, Alyssa. Are you bracketing? Have you been researching and everything?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, guys. I've done a little bit, but I still have to put my bracket together. Finn has, though. Talked to him yesterday. He's got his Final Four. He has Arkansas winning it all, beating Houston, actually, in his championship game. And he broke it all down, said, we've got Darius Acuff, but we also have Trevin Brazile and Malik Thomas. So, Finn's on it. So, I'm taking the 8-year-old's advice.
That's great. That's great. He hasn't had the soul-crushing losses just kind of take through everything through him
He's
just
not
yet,
quite
right?
jaded.
No.
Right. He's not quite jaded. He still believes as he should. So, it was so sweet looking at his bracket, and he's at a point too. You're 8, you're in 2nd grade, and he filled it out, wrote it all himself. So I wish him the best of luck. Hope they do it for Finn.
I love the unbridled optimism of an 8-year-old.
I'm just glad he's writing
Right.
it with pen and paper and not pushing it on a computer. So a penmanship counts.
Yeah, no, hey, Matt, I'll tell you something. They're learning cursive right now in 2nd grade, which I love. I just pretty much write all in cursive for the most part.
That's awesome.
And he is doing beautifully with his cursive. I don't think I've ever been more proud. Seriously, it's been great.
So when he writes out Kennesaw State and then upset over Gonzaga, you'll know that it actually says Kennesaw State, huh? He won't have to do KSU.
Yeah. No, it's sweet.
Those of us with awful handwriting like me, I'm only using the anagrams.
Vanderbilt's always Vandy. Yeah.
They're VU. I mean, I can't even go with the 5 letters.
No. No, Vandy. He told me he has Vandy losing in the first round too. He's so funny.
He hates Vandy just because that's the last team Arkansas played, right? That's got to be the only reason.
Yeah, I think that's it. But I told him not to completely go off a tangent. So his second grade teacher is Peyton Willis's mom, and I don't know if that name rings a bell. He went to Fayetteville High School, played, and then went to Vandy, played at Vandy, then ended his career at Minnesota. He's playing overseas now in Italy. But they talk basketball all the time.
That's great when you've got that kind of connection with a teacher. That's for sure. Hey, Pinto texted in, Alyssa, 877-377-6963. He says, you did a great job broadcasting the state tournament game. I don't know which one he's referring to, because how many did you do? It was more than one.
I had 4 TV games and 2 radio games. And so some of those were color and some of those were play-by-play, which I told you about. So I had a play-by-play game on the TV, 2 play-by-play games on TV and 1 on the radio, and then the rest were color. And I had a blast. It was so fun.
How much fun! So give me one performance that you called, that you saw up front, that stood out from the rest.
Oof, Barton boys basketball. I was on the radio on the Buzz for that game, doing color with RJ Hawk, and you think about Barton and everything that led up to that game, the fight with England, all the noise, all of the opinions, everyone really just talking about what happened away from the court, and for them to come out and get a 89-44 win over Mount Vernon Enola, and not to take anything away from Mount Vernon Enola, they beat them about 2 weeks ago, 63-60, and they come out and not only do they win with one of the largest margins of victory in the state tournament, but I'm telling you, offensively, shooting 68% from the field, they had 8 3. I mean, it was one of those things where it's just like I checked off every offensive box on my bingo list with what they were able to accomplish, and it was really, it was just really cool to see them respond the way that they did and quiet the noise and truly put on a show in the 2A Boys State Championship game.
Farmington's a dynasty. I mean, it's right here in the Varsity Vibe newsletter that I get every Tuesday morning, and that dynasty is expected to continue with Easton McCullough, just a sophomore.
Right. No, it's really impressive what they've been able to do. Even then, when you think about the fact that Easton was the only starter on that team a season ago, so it's not like they returned their entire team from last year. And then to put it into perspective, I was talking to head coach Jessica McCullough before the game. They've been 7 years in a row. Easton, as a sophomore, was in 3rd grade when this run started, that they played in the state finals. I mean, it's just insane to think about. And again, she just has so much ahead of her, and it's really exciting to see. But they just reload over there. And Jessica kind of joked, taking over for Brad Johnson this year, first-year head coach for her. She said, I'm just here to make sure I keep the train on the tracks. I've been an assistant with him for 21 years, and she obviously a big part of the success, and now she has the reins. And, just don't screw it up, right? No pressure. But they are incredible to watch, and they just continue to pump out success. It's really cool to see.
What is it about Farmington? Because, I mean, you look at, I guess – It's tough to get a dynasty that lasts this long through coaching changes. You think of like Greenwood football, maybe Bryant football to a point, baseball at Bryant maybe. Why has this happened at Farmington for girls basketball?
I think 2 things. I think that, obviously it's the culture and the program that Coach Johnson laid down before he went and joined Kelsey Music staff, but also too, these girls have played together and they want to continue to play together at every level of basketball, and there are, you want to play and perform and win, you go to Farmington. And something else that Coach McCullough said is, like, we have girls on our bench that could start anywhere right now. But they want to be a part of this team, and they want to be a part of the program. And that's the kind of buy-in, that unselfish buy-in of, I just want to be a part of something special and continue the legacy and continue the tradition here, that that unselfishness to be a part of the team and not care about individually yourself, I think speaks to a lot of why they are where they are.
So give me another game that you called that stood out to you.
Yep. So I did the Farmington PA game, or the Pea Ridge PA game. And that was a very fun game to call. The fun thing with Pulaski Academy is they're about to move up to 5A and join Farmington in the 5A. So that'll be interesting. They have Greenlee Elmore, who was just a sophomore herself. And that'll be a fun matchup between those two. And then, North Little Rock and Harbor. and you have someone with, Harbor with Kimberly Jenkins, and first time taking Harbor to the state finals. She's been there a handful of times with Valley Springs. And she's, talking to her. She's just trying to build what Daryl Fimples built at North Little Rock. Two very cool, very cool storylines matched up to each other. Two very talented teams. I think the two best teams in the 6A. Harbor gave them a fight in the second half. I think if Harbor maybe would have had a better start in the first half, in the first quarter specifically, and not build themselves in such a hole, that they would have been able to be a little bit closer. They even could have maybe won that game. But yeah, North Little Rock, another program under Coach Fimple that's had a lot of success, and they were able to take care of business. That was fun. One that I did not call the Parkview Marion game, but I definitely was there. Parkview won that in overtime, and that was exciting. And then I was able to watch Bryant beat Central, and I think everyone was kind of, if you didn't have a dog in the fight, you were rooting for Central because they were underdogs. But it was just fun to kind of sit back and not have to pick sides and just watch a really good basketball game.
Yeah, my daughter's a Central student. She was at that game. She was bummed out, but she said it was a good game. So
really?
At least it
you
was a
should
good
have said
game.
hello. I was right by the Central bench. The student section was right behind me.
So what? So now that the basketball season comes to an end, we got bat and ball season for Varsity Vibe. What you got planned?
Yes, I'm so excited. This is my time of the year, so we're just kind of getting ready to. Same thing with what we were able to do during basketball season. Just be able to sit down with these coaches and with these athletes and have these conversations. And so excited to get that going. I've already sat down with Kent Early at Bentonville, and of course he's built to talk about a dynasty in softball and what they've been able to accomplish. And that was a fun conversation that we'll share next week. Got to talk with Josh Reynolds, the head coach at Pea Ridge. They won a state title last year, as did Rogers Baseball. So those are kind of already in the works. I'm actually headed your way right now. Going to go and spend some time with J.J. Andrews and sit down with him and talk about his career. So excited about that conversation that we'll be able to share with you guys at the end of the week.
That's great. Looking forward to that, Alyssa. Always appreciate you joining us. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Always.
It's Alyssa Orange, Varsity Vibe, joining us every Tuesday on Halftime. 877-377-6963 to join us on our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Hey, we've always got to protect what matters most. The Fenceman can help you do that. Heavy-duty security fencing, powered automatic gates. Fenceman has you covered, and like they've been doing for more than 40 years. Custom built, built to last, free quotes, and financing for 18 months. Thinking security fencing, nobody builds it better than the Fenceman. 479-782-3936, thefencemanAR.com. The Fenceman, he ain't afraid of no work. Back in a moment, we'll wrap up the first hour. This is Halftime.
Stay off the weed.
This is Halftime.
Around here, we don't just know your name. We know your dad's favorite truck and your kid's baseball team. That's how it is when you've been in the same town for 90 years. At Hug Chevrolet GMC, we believe in handshakes, hometown service, and treating you like family. Because you're not just a customer, you're a neighbor. Hug Chevrolet GMC. The people, the place, the pride.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. If you're going to do some cold water bass fishing, you need to be using an Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. It's the best lure for duplicating a small school of shad and can be worked from the top of the water column to the bottom. Whether you're trying to win a bass tournament or whoop up on a bunch of white bass and stripers, the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. will catch them. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Umbrella Flash Mob Jr.
Valley Family Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment, or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Want pavement protection that goes the distance? Seal-Tite of Oklahoma now offers Rhino-Tite Premium Asphalt Emulsified Sealant, the next level in driveway and parking lot care. Healthier for the environment, Rhino-Tite delivers superior defense against weather, UV rays, and wear and tear. With its high solids content, you'll get a smoother, stronger, longer-lasting driving surface. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or a contractor buying in bulk, Seal-Tite has the products and support you need. Visit SealTiteOklahoma.com today and protect your pavement with Rhino-Tite.
A friend is someone who knows where you came from. Someone who always shows up when you need them. Someone who's there for the good times and the challenging ones. With comprehensive insurance policies backed by award-winning customer service, Shelter Insurance is committed to being there when you need us most.
Call your local shelter agent, Ryan Hughes, in Fort Smith.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Are you looking for a great deal on a previously owned vehicle but want to avoid high-pressure sales? If so, you need to visit Edwards Auto Sales in Roland. For over 30 years, Ernie Edwards and his staff have helped folks from Arkansas and Oklahoma River Valley buy a quality vehicle and offer a buy here, pay here program as part of their services. Some restrictions may apply. Come visit Edwards Auto Center newly remodeled facility, 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on your right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March.
Inside joy, she said to me, the answer is easy if you take it logically. I'd like to help you in your struggle to be free. There must be 50 ways to leave your love.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Let's go to our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Wrapping up hour number one. Billy from Fayetteville is with us. Good morning, Billy. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good, guys. How about yourself?
Doing great. Appreciate your call. What's up?
Oh no, I want to speak on two things real quick with you guys. This morning's show, they were talking about extending the NCAA.
Extending?
And, yeah, they wanted to extend the NCAA basketball teams, because apparently whoever's doing it, trying to extend it, I think Arkansas figured it out. The reason why they're doing it is because they find Arkansas a threat. Because look at what we have done. Somebody is so scared that we have to go against Hawaii coming up, and it's gratefully appreciated that Arkansas is pushing their limits, right?
You mean pushing the limits in terms of how they built the roster?
Yeah, how Arkansas built their roster, and coming to find out that we have the dream team. I mean, look at all the guys that came together. We've got the dream team.
Got a good-looking team, but they got a 4 seed. So I'm not sure if the committee would view it as a dream team, or that they're going to I think you mean expand the tournament. That has anything to do with, keeping Arkansas from going any farther or anything. The only thing I see is that they want to expand the tournament because there are more schools that have joined Division I basketball, in the last, 30 years since it was expanded? Or I guess it was expanded to 68 15 years ago. And there's more money to come in. And I think they want to have a certain percentage of the schools that are eligible that can actually make the tournament that are in Division I. Billy, thanks for the phone call.
I don't even know who these 8 teams are. What is it? 16 teams? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8.
That's 8.
The first 4, didn't even look. Do you fill those out in your bracket? No,
I don't think these usually count for most of the brackets. I don't think it does for the hitthatline.com bracket challenge either.
Miami of Ohio. Who would they play? Is that do you give them a fighting chance against Tennessee? And that's who they could play right there.
I would give them a fighting chance against Tennessee.
And then Miami of Ohio, could they beat Virginia? I don't know.
Man, I mean, it's the ultimate thing, but it's the first they got to get through SMU.
I think they get through this.
I love the idea of, a team that goes undefeated, plays literally nobody outside of mid-majors until they lose in the first round of their conference tournament and then play an SEC team.
But 15 and 17 Minutemen got you, though. So that's the red flag, so to speak. It's like you got beat by a team that's not above 500.
Are we okay with the NBA for the NCAA expansion? Chandler says that our caller was confused on extending or expansion between the NBA and the NCAA. All right. Maybe he's talking about moving the NBA because they're voting on 2 expansion teams. So I'm not exactly sure what he meant. 877-377-6963, our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. And we have Hall of Famer, Emmy Award winner, fisherman Clay Henry joining us for the remainder of the show, and we are right back.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful. Not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours. Or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust a team that delivers results. Go to LindberghTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Flu vaccines, both regular and high dose for seniors, are now available at Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith. Call 452-6116 to schedule your shot appointment. Usually there is no cost when covered by your insurance. Law's Drug has COVID vaccines, RSV vaccines for ages 60 plus. Pneumonia and tetanus shots are also available. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Looking for a career with a company built to last? At Forsgren, we've been shaping the future of the River Valley since 1936. Nearly 90 years of excellence, innovation, and family-driven leadership. From sidewalks that still stand today to major infrastructure projects across the region, our legacy is built on quality and community. Apply now at GoForsgren.com. Join the Forsgren legacy, where your work becomes part of something lasting. Forsgren, building the foundation of the River Valley for 4 generations. Apply now at GoForsgren.com.
You've been dreaming of that new workshop, horse barn, or extra storage space? Now let Sutherland's make it a reality. Hi, this is Jeremy, sales manager at Sutherland's. From deluxe post frame packages to custom horse sheds, we have it all. And the best part, you don't have to lift a finger. Our expert crews handle the entire installation. Quality you can trust and service that's been family owned since 1917. 4 stores in Arkansas: Fort Smith, Huntsville, Hot Springs, and Stuttgart. Visit Sutherlands.com or stop by your local store today for a free estimate. No matter the project, we're here to help, because at Sutherland's, home starts here.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we'll see mostly sunny skies. It'll be warmer with highs in the low to mid 50s, a southwest wind at 5 to 15 miles an hour. Skies become mostly cloudy tonight with lows around 40. Partly to mostly sunny on Wednesday, even warmer with highs near 70. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forsgren Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris, Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
But they were one Razorback. Is vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man.
Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
I don't know. I didn't go into Burger King.
You'd love it the most. Come on, man. Welcome back to Halftime. Hour 2, 12:01 in the afternoon. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston, and bringing on the Hall of Famer Clay Henry here in just a moment. I told Matt I was so proud last night. Took my kids out to dinner. I'm not going to see them for 6 days because I got baseball for the next 6 days away from town. And the two things they wanted to watch, the two things, Matt, and I'm so proud about this. My son was interested in Italy, Venezuela, World Baseball Classic. My daughter wanted to put on Seinfeld. I mean, am I doing okay as a parent?
You're doing okay.
I think I'm doing all right. Clay Henry is with us as well, the Hall of Famer, the Emmy Award winner. And Clay, if I got one kid that wants to watch, it's not even well, it is an American game because that Italy team is mostly American, against Venezuela, and he didn't even have a rooting interest in it. And then my other daughter wants to watch my favorite sitcom. I think I'm doing okay.
Brainwashed them. You brainwashed them.
Smart.
Congratulations.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, that's basically what happens to children when they're 2 and 3 years old and they are taped onto the couch, and you make sure their eyes stay open with the toothpicks, and they're forced to watch those things, a la Clockwork Orange.
Phil, that reminds me of when my daughters were like 10 and 11. And I got in a fantasy baseball league. I mean, just back in the day, that's very, very early in the fantasy baseball stage. And I had somehow finagled and got Will Clark and Fred McGriff.
You did well.
And the previous year, right at the end, I traded 3 really good pitchers for those 2 hitters. And then you can save 2 players going forward. So everybody in the league was mad because I traded, these pitchers to the leading team. But then I won the next 2 years because of those guys. But my daughters would get up in the morning, and I mean, they want to have conversation with me. And one would say, "How'd the crime dog do?" And then the other one would say, "What about Thrill?" It was hilarious.
Great nicknames for those guys.
I mean,
huh?
I'd brainwashed them. Yeah, I had.
Terrific nicknames for those guys. Meanwhile, once we put the Seinfeld episode on, Sadie is too interested in doing her bracket on her phone to watch the episode. So, and I didn't do that yet, Clay, because I'm doing my bracket live on the show here. And I just realized, Matt, I mean, this is why I don't ever finish a steak in less than 3 hours, because I'll go about 30 minutes without touching the darn thing. I went 30 minutes without touching my bracket. I'm gonna run out of time.
Oh, I got faith in you. Clay, have you done a bracket yet?
No.
No. Will you do one?
Yeah,
Okay.
It won't probably be the one you're involved with. It'll be the family one. There's, I think there's 7 or 9. No, there's 9 of us, counting, all the husbands and then the.
What's your record?
Well, last year I think I won it.
Oh, nice.
And then, but I think that's the first time in a long time. I know Becca won it several times by just picking the teams that had pastel in their uniforms.
Smart.
Yeah,
I don't know if that was it, but it was something like that. It's like
how I pick my horses when I go down there to Hot Springs. It's like, oh, that one's pretty. Yeah.
When I first did brackets, you couldn't really do research. There was like you were going to hop on America Online, and that's the schools didn't have websites
you'd have
or
on
anything.
The paper. So when you would get the paper, the sports section on Sunday or Monday, whatever day it would be this thick.
Yeah.
And they would go. I remember reading the paper.
Sports Illustrated did such a great preview.
I filled out my bracket. Yep.
That was the one I always used. It was the Sports Illustrated preview bracket that they would print in there, and I remember writing it out.
So one of our daughters, Sarah, is the organizer. She sends out, the link. Then it has the password. It has the name. I'm not going to say the name of our bracket, but the password is A Cup. I just laughed. It's just like that.
We're giving. All right, everybody's got to give a password out on the show now. All right,
but it may not be for your bracket. It could be a password about something else.
Yeah,
Pringle.
Clay just gave everybody access to his bank accounts. If you didn't realize,
no, that's not mine. That's Sarah's.
Billy Goat, but the O is a zero.
It's a zero. Yeah. So, but Sarah's like, Dad, it's so much easier to do the bracket this year, and I was like, well, why? It says Cal played all these teams. He played all these the top seeds in every bracket I know about. She said I wouldn't have known, Texas Tech is without Toppin if we hadn't played them and I started following them. And I think she's got a point. We do know more about these teams. Now I also will say, when your team is good, the last month of the season, you're starting to kind of look around, well, who's seated where? Who's, are we going to pass that team with a win? And what's the net? It's like when the Razorbacks are good, it just makes the bracket so much fun. Yeah.
That's why, as I started the show, you want to go with your head or your heart with one of your brackets, and I'm only doing one. But I feel like if I take Arkansas farther than it went last year, it is head and heart at the same time. But that Arizona game would be tough. Heck.
Oh, they got some brutes inside, and that's our kryptonite.
And their guard plays decent enough. And then you'd have to beat Gonzaga next. See, I got Duke and Michigan State to what your daughter was talking about. I got them playing in the Elite Eight to go to the Final Four. But kind of because I saw,
and their names, you know the players.
But I thought Michigan, and then Houston as well. I didn't get to see the Duke game, but they only have 2 losses. But I thought Houston and Michigan State were 2 of the better teams that the Hogs played. That I have no trouble thinking those teams can make it to Elite Eight.
Yeah, I watched Duke and Michigan just because I was like, well, they're going to play again.
I watched Duke and North Carolina, and that
Same deal.
The buzzer beater at the Dean Dome. That's one of the 2 losses for Duke. A buzzer beater against their arch rival, on the road, 15 minutes away. So, yeah, it'd be tough to take against them. But so one of the principles, I'm thinking about principles for the brackets here. Gonzaga goes to the Sweet 16. Michigan State, I'm picking Sweet 16 schools first. But another principle, should there be a principle that you have to eliminate a 1 or a 2 in the Sweet 16 just because upset?
I hardly ever do.
Right. It's tough to do that.
If you want to win the bracket, don't do it.
That's why I'm like I'm looking at this Arkansas Arizona thing right here, and I'm like, I can't pick it right now. I don't want to pick that one.
Should we be sleeping on Aaron Torres's UConn Huskies? How far do you got UConn going?
Dude, I'm not going to sleep on Dan Hurley's program.
See, I got them getting beat by Michigan State. That's where I got them lined up.
I can't get out of my mind what they did to St. John's. I just can't. Of course, they lost to St. John's too, but that last one, St. John's missed their last 24 field goal attempts.
Well, it doesn't get it. That means St. John's can't play any worse.
It's like when a soccer team plays a team in the FA Cup, then 3 days later they actually play them in the league. It's like they throw out a different team, and it's like, oh, that was the real team. That last game wasn't the real team.
877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Let's see what Charlie's got here. Charlie, have you finished your bracket on hitthatline.com, or how many? Hey, here's the real question. How many brackets do you guys think Charlie does?
He's got at least 2, right? One for Tuna and one for Charlie.
Which means that each of those people has 2 brackets, so there's 4.
Multiply it.
Right. There's one for home, there's one for work, so that's 8. How many brackets do you do, Charlie?
Honestly, I usually do about 2. So you're close, Phil. You're definitely close. Matt,
you could do 3,
closer, but okay.
So you could do 1, and it'd be the Tuna. And then you do another one
Okay.
that's tuna. And then the
Okay.
other one is Charlie.
All right, but Scott said everything from Camden. We got to be specific about that. But
Yeah.
you know, you guys know, but not everybody else knows. You know. Anyway, I was thinking yesterday too when I hung up, and you know, I kind of even said I didn't feel like we matched up well against Arizona. And then
Nobody
that caller
does.
behind me. No, I know. But then that caller behind me, Clay, calls and mentions Eddie, and I was thinking to myself, you know, I miss Eddie so much, and like that dude would think we would beat an NBA team, but you know, and I think about his passion and all that. So that is the reason too, like not just because of Eddie, but I do make I call it a homer bracket. Arkansas is going to go pretty far in that bracket, in that one that I make, and I do it.
That's a
because,
good thing.
And I did it, and I will say this: last year I picked Arkansas over St. John's in both of my brackets because I thought Arkansas matched up well with them.
They did.
And that's
yeah.
where you're talking about, Clay. Like one of the things I try to do my research when I fill it out, and like I look at like how many teams they played, as Phil talks about, top 25 or quad, you know, and what is their strengths, what are their weaknesses, and I try to do that, but again, it still always backfires at some point. I will say this though, BYU is one of those teams. Whoever wins that game between Texas and NC State, because BYU lost that player that they lost, I don't see them winning that game. I think that's I guess you would consider it an upset, because whoever wins that NC State Texas game is the 11th seed, correct? I think that's one of the ones right there. And then the 5-12, usually the 12 over the 5 is like that's the most common upset in the round of 64.
And I haven't picked one yet. You're always supposed to pick
See,
one.
You got to pick one, Matt. Who do you have as a 12 that could pull it off? Do you have you really looked at it and thought about it?
12. I got South Florida over Louisville, so there's an 11. I got
You have
St.
talked
John's.
about-
Nope, I got St. John's. I got Vanderbilt
There you
winning.
Who's the
High Point was almost the one I went with. That was the one I thought the most that High Point could beat Wisconsin.
What's the highest seed, meaning the worst seed that you have in a Sweet 16?
unit?
You got Matt's bracket?
Let's see.
'Cause I haven't finished this thing yet. Trying to think of
Gonzaga's a 3 seed. That's the highest
That's
seed.
the
I got.
highest one?
Yeah.
It's like difficult to
Duke,
figure.
Michigan State, Florida, Houston, Arizona, Zaga, Michigan, Iowa State.
Phil, I got something for you.
Yes.
You need to do one bracket and call it the Seinfeld. And when you have one of those coin flips, you say, did they have anybody with Kramer hair?
Ooh.
Well,
it's going to be somebody that does. Or just because the Seinfeld did the joke about rooting for laundry, just pick the uniform you like better.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, Phil's daughter obviously watches Seinfeld, and she's filling her bracket out as she's watching it. Watch her bracket be better than all of ours. I mean, what are we? I mean,
Oh,
we
that
don't know
happens
what
so
we're
much.
talking-
I learned, man, it was like 30 years ago, 31 or 32 years ago in high school with the bracket I told you about with my friend Andy Frankel to put this whole thing out, and I realized there's no use to doing any research. There were two girls that I was really good friends with that liked basketball, but they didn't like watch a ton of it. They were the champions. They did a bracket together, and all they did was based on uniform color and mascots. Literally, they won hundreds of dollars as 17-year-old girls. And I realized, like, why am I? Well, I know I was reading the Sports Illustrated preview because I liked reading it, but it didn't help me win anything. So why research?
This tournament, man, it is what makes it fun, all the buzzer beaters. But I do think it's a little bit more open this year, guys. I don't think we're going to see 4 1 seeds in the Final Four.
Good. That's a good. That's like a good principle to go by. Don't go with 4 1 seeds in the Final Four,
unless you want to win your bracket.
Oh no, come on.
Yeah. And Clay's right about that. I mean, if you want to, but
I got 3
think.
ones in my Final Four.
Michigan is the 1 seed to me that I wanted Arkansas to play because I don't think they're, as far as their brute strength, they're not as big as the others. That was when I looked at the size of their lineup. I'm not saying they don't have some size, but it didn't scare me like it does Duke, Arizona, and the other 1 seed. Florida, obviously. But anyways, y'all have a good one.
Thank you, Charlie. So I want to pick a 12-5. So here you go. I picked Akron to beat Texas Tech. I know nothing about the Akron Zips. I know that the MAC is a 2-bid league, so they must be pretty good. They won the MAC championship, okay?
Well, they weren't in if they hadn't won the tournament. So
That's exactly right.
There's that.
And Texas Tech has lost 3 games in a row, and they're not the same without Obi Toppin. So, boom, or JT, sorry. There you go. There's my 12-5.
I like it.
And I'll take Hofstra over Alabama. Can we pick Hofstra over Alabama?
Jimmy Hofstra, yeah.
Yeah, see, here's my theory on Alabama. They lost their.
They still have Phylon.
They lost their dealer.
Mm-hmm.
And
was he there? He's the assist maker, isn't he?
Some of their other guys got connects too, I bet.
Yeah, well, they're hustling for them. They don't have much time. They're about to hit the road. I mean, you just figure there's 2 ways of looking at it. They're not going to be chill for their game, and it's going to hurt them, or they're finally going to be straight, and it's going to help them. I don't know which one it is.
Well, where
You're supposed to laugh.
Where
Bill.
are they playing?
They've got other sources.
Where are they? Where are they playing? What state are they playing?
That game is being played in Tampa, Florida.
Well, I think they have different laws on the greenery in Florida, so I think they can just go in and get recreational anytime they want to.
Go get recreational.
Yeah.
You stop the team bus on the side of the road.
7-Eleven, and there's a store right next to it. I think they can just walk in and get you.
Goodness gracious! Well,
Coach said we don't have our stuff. Can we have beer?
Team principles, right? We've got a certain set of principles that you got to adhere to, and getting arrested for how much? How much? A pound? 2 pounds? I mean, it's a lot, but I don't know. Hey, there's certain things you can get. There's certain you got to be able to hide, and part of it sometimes is the smell.
32 zips, 12 people on a team. That's really not that much when you start doing some simple math.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they say, Coach, I mean, we lost our bag. Usually you'd think that they're talking about NIL. That's not what they're talking about in Alabama right now.
No, that's true. It's a whole other deal. 877-377-6963
That's all I got.
Is our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. We're going to be at hitthatline.com later today. I'm going to make sure I get my picks in for the ESPN Arkansas and Mach 1 Motorsports Bracket Challenge Motorcycle Madness giveaway. Going to make sure if you see your bracket is any better than mine, Matt's, Derek Ruskin, Tommy Kraft, anybody here at ESPN Arkansas, and make sure that you get the contest rules right there at hitthatline.com. It's presented by Moix RV of Arkansas, Swift's Jewelry in Fayetteville, Twin Peaks in Rogers, and Butler Furniture in Mountain Home. Tons of prizes to win, but you got to make sure you get your picks in before the second round begins on Thursday, because I used to call that the first round, and I'm always told that that's incorrect. Meanwhile, we are right back in a moment with more halftime.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March.
It's dog season. With a ball just crushed deep to left center field. Here, he's on his way home. The Hogs win. Head first to the plate. This is Arkansas baseball. There's a high fly to left field. To the wall. He'll leap. Gone again. It goes. Cam Kozel, a grand slam. This one belongs to the Razorbacks. Listen to the crack of the bat and the pop of the glove all year long.
On ESPN 95.3.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. The future of office printing is here with Xerox's Connect Key technology and cloud connectivity. Xerox offers seamless integration, top-notch security, and unmatched efficiency to help your business stay ahead. Don't miss out. Call us today at 783-6600 and ask about our special offer for a free Xerox color printer with many Xerox models. Dixie Digital Imaging, leading the way in office technology.
Spring is in the air, and the fish are biting, the gobblers are strutting, and the trees are blooming. Jelco Outdoors, your locally owned one-stop shop, is ready to help you get outside and enjoy the great outdoors. Stop by and let our friendly staff help you get the gear you need. Jelco Outdoors, your store for hunt, fish, and work. That's what we do. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Bounce on into Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas for the best deals on new and pre-owned RVs. Whether you're looking for a motorhome, travel trailer, fifth wheel, or toy hauler, we have them all here at Crabtree. So avoid the madness of crowded cities and hotels this summer by taking your family team on the open road with the perfect RV from Crabtree RV Center. Conveniently located at the junction of I-40 and I-49, family owned and operated since 1950. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts need, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss. Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Hall of Famer Clay Henry is also with us today here on Halftime. We'll have Clay on Thursday. I got to get on the road a little bit earlier with the baseball team out to South Carolina. So we'll have Matt and Clay together for a couple hours Thursday. And tomorrow, am I going to meet your friend tomorrow, Clay, your little buddy that you've told us about before Arkansas and Northern Colorado?
Yep. We should be there plenty early so that we're not a distraction for y'all.
Oh, there's no distractions in that radio booth.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just, he's a fourth grader. And have you ever been around? Yeah, you've been around fourth graders.
Recently, too, yes.
Sometimes they just screech. I don't know how else to explain it. And you look at them.
Seventh graders do that, too, by the way. Eighth graders
do they
sometimes.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
And if you I've been in a setting, like their basement in Loveland is where I end up, and it's got a bedroom down there, but it's also a huge, huge playroom. It's like this, it's the size of the whole top floor. And I've been there when they've had a sleepover with like maybe third or fourth graders, and in the summertime, and I'm in there, and they're doing their thing, playing or whatever, and they're going to stay up. And I'm going fishing the next morning, and all at once, one of them will screech, I'll just sit straight up in bed, and they're out there in the other room, and then a little bit later, one of them will screech, and I'll go, it's like, what's going on? They don't know. They don't even know they did it. They don't know the other guy did it. I mean, they're not trying to do it, but they just do a screech.
That's Kristen Johnston during the commercial breaks because he had too many energy drinks before the show started.
Oh, I've heard him groan before, but I never heard him screech.
Oh, you should hear it over there. He's all beamed up on Red Bull and nicotine.
Yeah. There was when this same little group of boys, they were there at 6 for a sleepover birthday, because I seem to go the same week every summer out there, and it's somebody's birthday, and they were doing their little thing, making too much noise. And I mean, I'm going to get up at 4 and drive 3 hours into the mountains to fish, and I popped out of there, and Sarah, who at that time was a elementary school principal, says, "Dad, just go out there and tell them that you know the cops and Santa Claus." And so I did, and I mean, they just went quiet, and I said, "Well, which one of those?" I texted Sarah later. I said, "Which one of those works?" And says, "You never know which one's going to work."
So let me ask this about Sarah, because we talked about this yesterday, Matt, about what it was like when you were a kid in the first day of the tournament, and we want to watch the game. Some teachers are going to roll that television and let you do it. Some are not going to let you do it. But what about the school administrator? Would she allow basketball and March Madness to be shown in her school during school hours? It would be a difficult thing to pull off, wouldn't it? I think I asked a question that broke Clay's equipment.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were asking Matt. I'm sorry. You were asking about Sarah. Yeah, I don't know which she is. I'll have to find out. Now, she's in the administration building now. She's not a principal anymore. She's in the Rogers administration. But I will tell you that when I was in high school, and that's late 60s, Little Rock Central, and Brooks Robinson is playing for the Orioles, and it was in October in the World Series, and all the games were daytime.
Yeah.
They're like 1 o'clock or noonish or
First
whatever.
World Series night game is 1971.
Yeah, so Brooks is Little Rock Central grad, Little Rock High School, and I mean it was pretty cool, and everybody was like pulling for the Orioles like nobody's business, and we have this huge auditorium, and they put, I think it was like 5 big box TVs. That's all there were. There were no flat screens then, on the stage, and had that going in the in the auditorium. It's a big auditorium. It's it's a double decker, Little Rock Central, and if you were in class and you had all A's at that point, a school teacher or your teacher could excuse you to go watch the World Series.
You got a 3:25 tip-off on Thursday, and it's not spring break yet, so
3:25 is like they're lining up to go home.
Right, so they have to watch it on their phones.
They will. They all got phones.
Those kids are going to be watching. That's right. My daughter will be driving home from Central High School. She better not be watching the game on her phone. Just do it the way Dad would do it. Just listen to Chuck and Zim.
Yeah, I don't know that Sarah let. She was a third grade teacher. I don't think she let, when she was a third grader, I don't think that she would have, she would have done that.
I love the idea, though, of like setting up almost like it's not a sports book, because you're not going to let the kids gamble on the games. Maybe they'll mutter under their breath to each other about it. But you can set up like all these different screens in the auditorium instead of what I got, which was wheeling in one television, and you basically had to watch the game that was on CBS, which was going to be one of the teams you wanted to watch anyway. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Group hotline on St. Patrick's Day. And Matt had asked, what is the most Irish movie? Leo Cruz on Twitter told me The Quiet Man by John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara.
I was thinking Boondock Saints would be kind of the Irish.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
The Irishman or The Departed, I think could certainly fit.
I didn't even. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, was watching a little TV this morning, and our president had I don't know if it's the prime minister or the president or whatever it is from Ireland, and they were talking that 22 of our former presidents have Irish blood.
Wow,
how about that?
I did not realize that.
Well, I think he's the only one that knew that. Somebody's fact checking him.
I worked for a baseball team that was owned by a couple of Irish cousins. It was from the O'Malley family. Walter O'Malley owned the Dodgers and moved out west. These were his grandsons, the Seidler and O'Malley family, and they threw. This is the greatest. I mean, they have lots of money. They had a beautiful casa. It was a casa. It wasn't a house. It was gorgeous out there in Stockton, and there might still be some green. I don't know, something inside of me from that. That was quite a night. Never to be replicated ever again.
So you know who the greatest Irishman is, though? John McDonnell.
Well, I've heard the stories. I wonder how he would have celebrated St. Patrick's Day. You have any idea, Clay?
Probably a run.
Who was the baseball player you said? I missed that.
No, John McDonnell.
Coach John McDonnell.
Yeah. Dean Weber, the Irishman, man. He's the Irish Mr. Miyagi.
He could put the hands together and solve it right like that.
Dean's principle. I mean, he had a lot of them, but one of the things, he would give you a couple options, right? Like, okay, so let's say you have a pulled hamstring, a shoulder, ankle, whatever. It's like, all right, so we can do this, or we can do this. And so it's kind of like you get to choose what you're doing, so you feel a little more involved, instead of just like, oh, you have to go do this. So I kind of like that.
But none of the options were really fun.
Yeah, no, you were stuck. You were going to have to do it. You're going to have to show up, and then Eric Linson to do it. I mean, that was okay, but he just had a way. He had a way about his communication. I'll never be able to communicate like that, but I like the way he communicated.
Yeah. So Henry's are Irish. We're Irish, and supposedly, I mean, there is every generation that we can trace back. There's a Patrick. So Patrick Henry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my youngest brother, who lives in Portland, Oregon, and is extremely excited. He called me Sunday night, and it's like, hey, I'm not asking you to get tickets for me, which he probably was, but he said, I really know need to know what the Arkansas section is, so I'll be with friendlies. And says, I'll figure it out, and he will. The dude can figure stuff out, and he's resourceful. I mean, if I can help him with tickets, that's okay, but he'll get in, and he's he goes by Pat, but he's Patrick. And then my Aunt Pat, and then you go another generation. That's my dad's youngest sister, and you just keep going back. And and it's supposedly, I don't know how many great, and I don't know if it's great grandfather or great uncle Patrick Henry is in there somewhere.
Wow, that's going back quite a ways, Clay. That's like 8 different
I don't
greats.
have it, but that's just legend in our family, and I started hearing that when I was about 6 or 7. When I first realized that my little brother was named for somebody, I was like, oh yeah. And
no surprise. I think when my sisters did the 42andMe or 53andMe, whatever that, I just figured I'm probably what they are. That's Scott Irish was the number one blood type. Yeah,
there's not an ounce of Irish blood in me. Not at all. No, not even a remote whiff of it. No,
you never know.
It's all Eastern European. We're nowhere near Ireland. 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Green's the color you're thinking today, but red's your favorite color because you're a Razorback fan. And if your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, well, Rhoback.com has the University of Arkansas Game Day collection. They've refreshed it. Brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos selling fast at RHOBACK.com. The code is RUSH26 to get 20% off your first order at Rhoback, where action meets comfort. Let's take a phone call, and then we'll break. Here's Brent in Kentucky to talk to on halftime. Brent, good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, and happy Pig Day here as we celebrate St. Patrick. And I can tell you, your Mahoney background has worked because you have kissed the Blarney Stone. And I think it's required for all newscasters and sportscasters, because you can speak continuously about what you love to talk about.
Where am I supposed to? Where can I find a Blarney Stone to kiss? I thought I saw one in Shamrock, Texas once.
Oh, not Texas. That is Oh, no. You have to go to Ireland.
Well, I don't know if I ever kissed it or not, but yeah, you're right. What else, Brent?
Well, somebody did kiss it for you because you have it in your bloodline. And Clay, when it comes to understanding who's going to win all this, I understand you used to ask your dad when you would go to games, say, Dad, who's going to win today? And the great Orville Henry would say, Arkansas, son. Arkansas is going to win. That's what I got to say, guys.
Appreciate it, Brent. Thank you.
I don't think we ever talked like that. I think it was just understood. I mean, just like that was like in our DNA.
And make sure there's an Irish tradition that on St. Paddy's Day, if you order a Guinness, you order a drink, you have to drink it all, because if you leave some in it, it's inviting the evil spirits, and you might have a bad year.
It's not to be saved for Santa Claus in December. No.
So be careful of those evil spirits.
There's somebody that ever leaves a drop.
It's not if you're Irish, that's for sure.
Well, I want to tell you about if you're running a small business, if you rely on a do-it-yourself website or just a Facebook page that may be costing you customers, that is where Modular Orange comes in, a local Fayetteville company building professional websites for business owners all across the state. They'll write, design, host, and maintain your website with no upfront costs. Just $95 per month. If something needs updating, their team will handle it for you. Plus, of course, the rise of AI search tools like ChatGPT. You want a website that actually helps your business get recommended online. Modular Orange can help with that. They'll get you a polished website in just 2 to 3 weeks. Visit modularorange.com or call 479-755-3043 to get started. We're back in a moment. This is Halftime.
We played really good today. This is Halftime.
Superstars Joe Klein and Pat Bradley for Arkansas's #1 sports app.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell's Lutz boxes are going to people's heads because once they experience the refined $5 bots, opulent $7 bots, and indulgent $9 bots with the new crispy chicken crunch wrap slider, they start expecting everything to be as Lutz.
Home, James.
You know you don't have a chauffeur, right? Don't let the Lutz go to your head. Try Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lutz boxes today.
It's here, the ultimate challenge going on at the Lewis Automotive Group, and we're on a mission to sell over 600 vehicles, and we're getting extremely close. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, and more than $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back all month long. Get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models, and payments starting at only $199 a month. The ultimate savings, the ultimate selections, and the ultimate amount for your trade. The ultimate challenge going on only at the Lewis Automotive Group.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
While most people are playing for bragging rights, MyBookie is giving away $100,000 in their Madness Bracket Contest. This is about turning your ball knowledge into bankroll. Head to mybookie.ag. Use code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and get your first bet covered up to $500. If it misses, activate your Bet Back bonus token and run it back. The madness only comes once a year. So don't just watch it, win it. Only at MyBookie. Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Now let's get back to Halftime with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Arkansas football legend, Matt Jones.
Hall of Famer Clay Henry, too, with us here on Halftime on a Tuesday. We got 6 o'clock baseball tonight. I think the championship for the World Baseball Classic, guys, is 7 o'clock, so I'll probably have to miss that, unfortunately. And I'm not going to go back and watch. I'll look at the highlights and all of that. But watching these games has been so much fun because of the atmosphere. The level of play is one thing, and the desire that I think has been obvious on just about every side. To make this tournament just not kind of a throwaway thing that I think some baseball fans look at it as. It doesn't feel like the people that are in that stadium feel like that at all. That Lone Depot Park has, first of all, that looks a little bit like a smaller Astros home, with the short left field and the big glass window out in left field and the double deck in right. So it kind of reminds me of the Astros Park. And I don't know if tonight is going to feel like a home crowd or a Venezuelan crowd, truthfully. But I just know that it reminds me, you don't see these kinds of crowds at American baseball events. Where you do see these crowds, they're kind of acting the way that you see in an excitable way. That's what college baseball is like.
Yeah, you watch the World Series, you don't see people with faces painted.
Or flags,
that's where I was going to go next, and not even pom-poms. I mean, it's just so. What was the last major league team to wave towels or hand? Was it the Pirates?
I feel like every team tries to do something like. But I remember when the Minnesota Twins gave out Homer hankies at the.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was like 87 and 91. The Angels had the Thunder Sticks thing and the Rally Monkey, and I think the Mets had a rally animal of some sort. Yeah, but it's always the kind of thing where you're going to give people the thing when they walk into the stadium instead of they bring it themselves. They bring in their own flags. It's like you look out into the hog pen, and you lose track of the amount of flags that are out there. Razorback flags, potato flags, stuff with inside jokes and all of that. And I hadn't experienced baseball like that at all until getting into the Razorbacks as deeply as I've gotten into. And I always picture, it's like I want to go visit. I really, my experience with baseball, guys, is mostly in the United States. I've watched a little bit in Canada and one game in Puerto Rico, and that's it. It's not the international flavor, and that's why I've always wanted to see what the Caribbean series is like. And that's what this has felt like, with drums beating in the stands and just, it's almost like a parade in the seats during a baseball game. You feel like, well, the baseball game's really boring. Anybody that thinks a baseball game's boring and you're part of a crowd like that, I don't think anything's going to get you fired up. But those Venezuelan fans, man, I think they're going to have a little bit extra for this championship game tonight, and I do think they'll outnumber the U.S. fans.
So was it Rod Carew? Is he the greatest ever from there?
Carew is from Panama.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that he's the second greatest player from Panama because the other is Mariano Rivera.
Ooh, yeah. See, you're so much better at that than I am.
I can't remember everybody, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, but it's going to be fun, and I've watched it, and I know these guys can't be at their peak. I mean, none of them, they had to take some downtime. Maybe they started back a little earlier than everybody else that's in spring training. It's like all the GMs and managers, they're hopeful that these guys, all of them, make it through tonight. Nobody's hurt.
Well, you saw what happened in the Olympics for hockey. Well, there's already been, like, the Italian catcher Kyle Teal. I forget what the injury was, but he's out for a month because of a knee injury. Sidney Crosby had a leg injury that's costing him, I think, potentially the rest of the season for the Penguins, and that's an injury he suffered at the Olympics. That's why I've kind of wondered if maybe, because the World Baseball Classic, this is the most excitement that I remember around it, and the most attention it's getting, the most I've watched it, and I think it's been at the highest level. But I do wonder if this is still not the right month for it, because it's not baseball season.
No, it is. It's because I don't like the idea of stopping in the middle of the season for sending players. And it's just too complicated. Let's put it that way. I was excited for just the last couple of innings of USA versus Japan last year.
Yeah.
When Ohtani, who did he face?
It was Ohtani against Mike Trout with the game on the line.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, teammates.
Well, and neither of them are going to be in this championship game because Japan lost to Venezuela and Trout's not on the team. So I was trying to think of the Venezuelan closer against Aaron Judge to finish it out. The guy who finished, it was the Mariners pitcher, and I can't remember his name, that closed it out for them yesterday with some 100-mile-an-hour pitches. That's what we may end up seeing later tonight. So I'd love to see Northern Colorado is struggling, the baseball team. I think I don't have my notes in front of me, but I think their record is like 3-16. 3-18 or something like that. They're coached by a former Dave Van Horn assistant at Nebraska, Mike Anderson, and one of their assistants is Shane Opitz, Casey's brother. So there are some ties between these two programs, but I'd like to see a run rule so you can get back home and get the World Baseball Classic Championship on TV.
So this is Greeley? Is that where Northern?
Greeley, Colorado. That's right.
I've been there. I got a buddy that lives just south of Greeley, and then another buddy in Loveland, and the route from one house to the other is through Greeley. And I'm sure I've stopped and gotten gas in Greeley.
I'm sure you have too. 4,600 foot altitude.
Yep.
Not quite a mile. 877-377-6963 to get with us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. And we are back in a moment to wrap up hour number 2. Stay with us.
I actually wanted to call you and just thank you because you have put the love of baseball back in my life.
This is halftime.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Spring projects are coming fast, so now's the time to fix it before it starts. C2 Supply, we've got the industrial and agricultural supplies you need to keep every project running smoothly. From fasteners and fittings to tools, safety gear, and hard-to-find parts, C2 Supply helps you gear up before the work gets going. Don't let missing supplies or worn-out parts cause downtime. Get spring project ready with C2 Supply in Poto. C2 Supply. Let us see to your supply needs. 602 North Broadway in Poto, or give us a call at 918-647-0430.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
Do you feel that, Arkansas? The Lotto jackpot is now more than $1 million. Why should you care? Because this $1 million+ prize can only be won in Arkansas. There are 2 Lotto drawings every week, and the jackpot keeps growing until there's a winner. Join the fun and play Lotto today. A $2 ticket could change your life. Get yours in stores today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
When a business has been around more than 65 years, you know they're doing something right. Hey, Ty Richardson for Johnny's Transmission. They've been trusted in Fort Smith and the River Valley since 1959. Located at 1212 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith, they strive to make every customer's experience outstanding and want your vehicle to be in the best condition for the road ahead. Check out their website, johnnystransmissionfs.com, and find them on Facebook. Johnny's Transmission, family owned and operated since 1959.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March.
Yeah. The tattoo ink never runs dry. Remember when people were content to be unambitious, sleep till 11, just hang out with their friends? I mean, they had no occupations whatsoever, maybe working a couple hours a week at a coffee shop.
Right? But that died out a long time ago.
Not in Portland. Portland is a city where young people go to retire.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Hall of Famer Clay Henry with this too. Clay, you did not realize that the city that Arkansas was sent to for games 1 and 2 of their run through the NCAA tournament was tailor-made for Matt Jones's favorite television program.
There's a show called Portlandia that's just a sketch comedy, like a Saturday Night Live type show it's Fred Armisen and Carrie Brownstein, which Fred Armisen was a Saturday Night Live cast member.
And Carrie Brownstein is a rock and roller.
For Slater Kinney, an all-girl band, yeah.
And they're, how would you describe the humor?
Dry, juvenile, witty. How about that?
Ironic.
Yeah.
It's got to be ironic, too.
It's funny. It's like, hey, do you want to change something? Put a bird on this, and then just putting birds on things.
How long does your brother live there, Clay?
I think he's lived there 20 years. He's maybe 15. He's retired. U.S. Navy, U.S. Marine Corps. When I say, how can you be both? Well, he was a medical corpsman and RN in the Navy, and they're assigned to the Marines.
Right.
He ran MASH units. He actually was stationed for several years in the hospital at Guantanamo Bay. He was an RN there. I mean, how weird of a place is that? And I asked him, I was like, did you like it? Because it's Hawaii.
Well, why did he settle in Portland? What kept him there?
I think it was kids he's lived everywhere. I mean, you're a career Navy guy. He actually had time where he rode on Air Force One as the nurse in the back of the plane, never with the president, but it was usually they would send Air Force One to, a foreign country overseas to bring a head of states to Camp David, and you have to have somebody on the plane if so, in case one of those high ups gets sick. And so he's there with all kinds of med, and he said the food was pretty good.
He's one of these people that I was thinking of because we're complaining about Arkansas being sent all the way out to Portland.
Oh, he's happy.
Meanwhile, I mean, there's a Razorback diaspora out there, and there are people who live in and around Portland who are from this state, might even have some graduates of the school that are fired up about this. Even I got friends in Seattle. They're going to end up going down there to Portland for this game just because the Hogs are close enough. So it can feel good for them while Ty starts his 3,000-mile trek later tonight. We go into hour number 3 of halftime, and we have Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio at 1:15 getting into some college football. Meanwhile, Hall of Famer and Emmy Award winner Clay Henry is with us up until 2 o'clock. Calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline anytime at 877-377-6963. And we are right back in just a few moments.
Will your bracket be better than Matt Jones, Derek Ruskin, Tommy Kraft, and the rest of the ESPN Arkansas team? Sign up for the ESPN Arkansas and Mach 1 Motorsports Bracket Challenge Motorcycle Madness giveaway. Find the contest rules, pick your Cinderellas, and watch some epic games this postseason. For contest rules, go to hitthatline.com/bracket. Our bracket challenge is presented by Moix RV of Arkansas, Butler Furniture, Swift's Jewelry, and Twin Peaks and Rogers.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fifth Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Dozy Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Dozy Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
The Hustler Pro Sales Event is happening now at WT Equipment. Save 20% or more on select commercial mowers, plus fleet savings from Hustler Turf Equipment before the season kicks into high gear. Fully stocked with commercial and residential Hustlers, ready for crews and homeowners alike. Built to handle long days and tough jobs. Upgrade your fleet or your lawn. WT Equipment today.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we'll see mostly sunny skies. It'll be warmer with highs in the low to mid 50s, a southwest wind at 5 to 15 miles an hour. Skies become mostly cloudy tonight with lows around 40. Partly to mostly sunny on Wednesday, even warmer with highs near 70. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grant Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it. We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field. Yeah.
You said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
What name of one Razorback?
Is vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Back for hour number 3, Phil Elson with Matt Jones, Christian Johnston producing, all beamed up, and Hall of Famer Emmy Award winner Clay Henry as we take you up until 2 o'clock. We've got Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio coming up at 1:15. And, guys, the AP First Team All-America list has been announced, and Darius Acuff is a first-team All-America this year. And there are 3 freshmen that have made this list: Cameron Boozer, A.J. DeBonsa, and Darius Acuff. Lendenborg of Michigan, Toppin of Texas Tech, rounding out the 5-member first team. And that's been a question I think you've had, Matt, for a while. And I think once he was named SEC Player of the Year, I don't think there was any way that he would be left off the first-team All-America list. So there's another little accolade. It's a big accolade. Can't say it's little. It's big.
Yeah, Duke, BYU, Texas Tech, which the Texas Tech kid's not there anymore. Who do you have going farther when you're looking at the All-Americans in the country? Michigan had one, BYU, Duke, and Arkansas. So would you have any of one of those going to the Final Four besides Duke, I guess?
Man,
I was going to say you just took away a no-brainer. That was yeah.
I
don't think BYU. No,
I may put Michigan in the Final Four, Matt.
Yeah,
I like Michigan. Michigan's tough.
They just look like a bunch of men.
I like Michigan. I like Duke. What do you think when is it just about matchups when I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves because that Arizona does, not High Point, Wisconsin is the 12-5 matchup, but does Wisconsin scare you enough where you think that could be an upset? Like we're going to have to play an A game to beat Wisconsin is what I'm saying.
Yes, they got healthy when they needed to. They have a resume that includes wins over seeds that are bigger than Arkansas, better wins than Arkansas's had in some cases too. So absolutely, there's you can't look past that game at all. I don't think anybody is, truthfully, because I think Guard's got a good program.
I think it's advantage Arkansas that we play. We don't play them first, because I think if Wisconsin, and they might be doing some of this, if Wisconsin started putting in a game plan for it now, and we get to put in a game plan too, but when you're catching 1 day rest and all of a sudden Acuff and Billy Richmond show up, it's kind of catches you off guard a little bit because they're not going to be able to scheme it up necessarily.
I think when you have Darius Acuff, I mean, it's Phil. I'm going to throw a baseball illustration on you. It's like, okay, you got Hagen Smith, you got a chance.
Sure.
You got Darius
Paul
Acuff,
Skeens, yeah.
you got Paul Skeens. Man, I like your chances. And they've got some dudes. I just wish they had one more big. Preferably a 5. The I want to see how Brazil plays when they kind of knock you around. Does
that's what I'm a little nervous about that.
Yeah, you just don't know. And I mean, they keep saying he's the X factor. Well, it's both ways. There have been some times where, he just wasn't much of a factor, and it seems like it's when.
And what got us last year in the tournament?
The other team has got a 260 guy that's going to hit you. Yeah, but he is an incredible player on certain nights. He just hasn't been the consistent. There's some nights he's just not there, and I don't know. I can't explain it. I don't. Maybe it is about when the other team is more physical and he has to play on the block a little more than he might want to. I mean, I think he's a 3 that presents matchup problems when the other team doesn't have a big. But my goodness, did he play well in Nashville? It was incredible to watch, and I would imagine the NBA scouts are like scratching their head, man. Are we going to make a mistake by not taking him? Because he's a dude and he's an NBA player.
Just because of his length, his athletic ability, and we got to understand in the NBA, there's a couple guys that what you do is it's a cardio game. You run and stand in the corner, and when my guy beats his guy, and then the guy helps you shoot corner threes, and there's a role for Trevin Brazile. I think there's 4 NBA guys on this Razorback team that will play in the NBA in some shape or fashion. That's Darius Acuff, obviously, Brazile, Malik Thomas, and Billy Richmond. I think all 4 of those guys will wear an NBA jersey at some time.
So this is something I've said before, but it was 2 years ago in late April, early May. Cal's the coach, and we started having discussions on how he's going to build his roster. And we know that he's getting those Kentucky guys, and he's got his eyes on some other guys. And Brazil is in the portal, and he's also, going to, doing all the NBA come look at me stuff. And I was ready for him to go. I was like, with blessings, go have fun and do something great. I mean, I'm pulling for you. And there's a guy on this radio show named Matt Jones, and he's like, man, he's a pterodactyl. Whatever it is that you call him, Matt. I don't know if it's pterodactyl.
He is one. That's it.
And you kept saying it. He's one of those guys that can play way up there at the top of that box on the backboard, and they just don't come very often. And you better be careful.
If you end up playing Wisconsin, you got to be able to rebound outside the lane. You got to be able to defend that 3 and rebound the 3 the way that you have. It's different rebounding a 3 than rebounding a layup. They shoot more threes, make more threes than any team in the Big Ten, and are 7th in the nation in 3-point attempts per game. Every one of those guys is going to be able to.
Who was the most physical team that the Hogs played in the SEC? Was it A&M? You thought Florida? I just thought Florida. Yeah, I guess you can say they're the most physical team, but let's take Florida out of there. You think Tennessee, because that's what you're getting with Wisconsin. And what's kind of Arkansas? If you kind of can put your elbow and kind of get physical and bang them around, we've shown that we lose our attitude and we lose our cool and we'll get technical. I'm telling you, that game.
Yeah, well,
that's a scary game.
Trevin's going to lose his cool and push somebody.
Oh, come on. Then he'd be out for the next
done
so
that.
We can't do that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, but that's, that he hasn't done that of late.
And we only do it when we're losing at the end.
Yeah, and so, but let's don't put Tennessee in that physical label this year. Well, the reason why I say that is because Tennessee under Rick Barnes, that's their MO. It wasn't this year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they were finesse for sure. You know, their best player was finesse, and that was Ament, whatever you say it. That dude is, 6'10" and can shoot it. I mean, he's a little bit like Brazile. And he had some games where he didn't show. He did not really show in Fayetteville early in the year, in that January game. And every once in a while, Tennessee would get you, but they weren't the Tennessee that they've been, which surprised me a little bit because I mean Barnes is. I have a lot of respect for that guy. It's more so that he's not at Texas.
Hey, you want to watch the game over at Flyway Brewing? The first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament is the best place to watch it. Your basketball headquarters this week is Flyway Brewing in Fayetteville. Here's what they got during the basketball madness. All-day happy hour, $3 16-ounce pours, $2 off stem pours, wings for $10 and fries, and $3 chip baskets. This is the perfect spot to settle in, enjoy great food, great beer, and take in all the action. I'm a big fan of Flyway's Honeybird and Blue Wing, and you can find Flyway Brewing Company in Fayetteville on Zion Road. Make it your next stop, and make it your stop for the NCAA tournament when the Razorbacks play Hawaii and then Wisconsin, and then we'll worry about what happens after that. Meanwhile, Bill King joins us from Nashville Sports Radio after this on Halftime.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Will your bracket be better than Matt Jones, Derek Ruskin, Tommy Kraft, and the rest of the ESPN Arkansas team? Sign up for the ESPN Arkansas and Mach 1 Motorsports Bracket Challenge Motorcycle Madness giveaway. Find the contest rules, pick your Cinderellas, and watch some epic games this postseason. For contest rules, go to hitthatline.com/bracket. Our bracket challenge is presented by Moix RV of Arkansas, Butler Furniture, Swift's Jewelry, and Twin Peaks and Rogers.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. We're here at Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue, downtown Fort Smith with Rachel. Rachel, tell our audience why we love coming here on Thursday.
We have a great crowd, great sports, buckets for 15, good vibes, good atmosphere. Can't beat it.
Rachel, we're here every Thursday. Do you ever get tired of it?
You have your times, but you keep coming back, so we put up with you.
Well, we appreciate it. 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. It's Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. What do we always say?
It's the best darn pizza in Fort Smith.
Perhaps the world.
Hi, I'm Dr. Cole Johnson with River Valley Smile Center. If you're hiding your smile because of chipped, stained, or uneven teeth, or you feel like your smile doesn't reflect how you feel inside, our dental team is here to help. We offer a variety of cosmetic and restorative dental services, from custom veneers to full mouth rehabilitation. We take pride in combining clinical precision with an artistic eye to help you feel confident and comfortable every step of the way. It's time to love your smile again. Call 479-646-0706 or visit rivervalleysmiles.com to set up your consultation. Let's create the smile you've always wanted.
Is it time for you to finally get the barn, hunting lodge, barn dominium, or garage you always wanted? Sutherland's is here to help. Hi, this is Jeremy, sales manager at Sutherland's. When you choose to work with us, you can expect top quality, expertise, and peace of mind, knowing that Sutherland's will do whatever it takes to get the building you've always wanted. For a free quote, call 1-800-66-BARNS. Free estimates at Sutherland's.com. For over 100 years, Sutherland's has been helping folks build it better. No matter the project, we're here to help. Because at Sutherland's, home starts here.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
From the trail to the track, Wheeler Power Sports has been taking care of riders for generations. We're your factory-authorized home for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, KO, and the three-wheeled Slingshot. Looking for used bikes? We have a massive pre-owned inventory, and we're buying. Plus, check out our huge selection of apparel and accessories to gear up for your next ride. Follow us on Facebook to see the latest sales on Polaris Rangers and Kawasaki Z-Series bikes. Wheeler Power Sports and the Wheeler family, taking care of riders for generations in historic downtown Fort Smith.
spring is in the air, and the fish are biting, the gobblers are strutting, and the trees are blooming. Jelco Outdoors, your locally owned one-stop shop, is ready to help you get outside and enjoy the great outdoors. Stop by and let our friendly staff help you get the gear you need. Jelco Outdoors, your store for hunt, fish, and work. That's what we do. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors.
Fort Smith, get ready to fondue it at TGI Fridays. We're turning up the flavor with our all-new Fondue It menu. For just $3, you can upgrade your favorite Fridays classics with a warm tableside cheese pour served on a sizzling cast iron skillet. Picture this: loaded potato skins, a crispy chicken sandwich, the bacon cheeseburger, or the bold big queso energy burger, all finished with rich poblano queso fondue. Or go next level with our truffle mushroom burger, topped with smooth Alfredo fondue. TGI Fridays, Fort Smith. In here, it's always Friday.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back, and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Headed to our Lewis Automotive Group hotline on a Tuesday afternoon and headed into the state of Tennessee, and the one and only Bill King joining us from Nashville Sports Radio, hosting 6 to 9 on WNSR, the king of college football talk. Bill, good afternoon to you. It's a lot of basketball going on this week, but I listened a couple hours to you this morning, and it was all football. You never have trouble filling time with college football, my friend.
Well, we're oblong, spheroid centric. Started that about 20 years ago. Very little else gets on the air, literally. Now, Monday I talked more about hoop just because we were coming off the conference tournaments and that. But that's still probably only got 30 minutes to 3 hours. That's just, we made that move a long time ago, and we've been happy with it. But yeah, I enjoyed the Vanderbilt Florida game. Was kind of surprising to me how as one-sided as it was. Coach Cal's taken so much heat through the years, particularly the last couple of years at Kentucky. He ends up winning the thing. Clearly had the best team playing at the time, and a lot of interesting stories.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, you're hitting on something I want to talk about, and it's Darius Acuff is the story, and I kind of compared him to a freshman Reggie Bush. I'm trying to think of, because of just how electric he was. He came on the scene. What is in point guard might be the best place as a freshman to come in and do well, but usually it's the athletic wings or the bigs. What's the easiest position, Bill, that you think for college football for a freshman to come in and just be a star?
There's not even a close second. It's running back. Running back, pretty much what you think you see, you're getting. Now, I've seen some busts. I've seen a few 5-stars get in through the years. There's a kid named Brian Darden about 30 years ago out of Vicksburg, Mississippi. Everybody in the country had to have it. Ended up in Tennessee, couldn't play a lick. I swear, you watch his film, you watch him, he is electric, could not play a lick. So I've seen some weird stuff, but running back is the easiest evaluation and the easiest to play as a freshman.
I guess sometimes it's a little difficult for some of those freshman players to continue to produce the way that they do as a freshman. I'm just thinking about Harold Perkins. I remember when Perkins basically beat Arkansas by himself as a freshman.
Oh, I know.
And then I mean, there was a big fall off there. I mean, he's going to be a pro player probably, but he wasn't. He didn't quite have the career, I guess, that the college career that we thought. I guess like with Ryan Williams, the wide receiver for Alabama, it's a matter of that just was an offense that had a little bit of trouble that second year. What about wide receivers and freshmen too?
Wide receiver, it's interesting. The jump from high school to college at wide receiver is way easier than the jump from college to pro. And somebody may say, well, Bill, that's the NFL. Yeah, true. But you don't get good cornerback play in general until you get to the pros anyways. You haven't played good corners probably, if you're a receiver, until you get to the pros. To me, that's the biggest jump. The cornerback play that you're having to compete against is so much better, Coach, so much better than the crap you get in college. So it's kind of an interesting transition. But young receivers absolutely can play. And it's a pretty easy evaluation, too.
Yeah, I think the hardest thing to do is play cornerback in professional sports. Think of there's 16 SEC football teams, like 3 of the cornerbacks get drafted in the NFL. You know, like you're
and can play a lick.
You're right on. What about baseball? I know you're into baseball as well. Arkansas started a true freshman shortstop, and maybe he gets back going around or whatever it takes. But when you think of freshmen that come in and have an impact in baseball, what would be kind of the number one position for that?
That kid at Kentucky who's from Ohio, who's a second-year player, but he's draft eligible, and he's been injured. They're just getting him back. Was the best freshman I saw a year ago. And he was a highly rated kid out of Ohio, but I don't remember LSU and Tennessee. And I don't think you guys can correct me, I don't think Arkansas flirted. I thought he was better than Curiel, the young superstar at LSU, a freshman a year ago. Of course, he's an outfielder. But anyways, I'd say the middle infield, shortstop, there's a lot of pressure, though, to hit and be a defender like that, middle infield. I would say, guys, without the years of experience, maybe the right field area. But guys, another one would be just a big pitcher. Tennessee's got this Cameron Appenzeller out of Chicago, lefty, who's 6'5", and he hadn't even matured yet, and he's a killer. They use him a lot already. So I think a young, really good pitcher can come in and play immediately and do really well.
Well, and with teams being older because of the portal, is it a little more difficult for a freshman to pop through, or do you kind of notice the great athletes when they pop through? But because the sport is older, I guess it's the feeling that maybe fewer freshmen make impacts.
Well, probably so. I would say what I've noticed is it's harder to play a team like Wright State. Tennessee lost the series to them. Now, Tennessee's not, I don't think, a top 10 team at the moment, but still a good team. And Wright State's got a bunch of mature guys that hit the ball better, pitch the ball better, you know, when you see a guy at bat and you said that was a professional at bat. And a lot of guys that look like professional at bat, so to speak, for college kids. So I think you see some of that too. And it depends on your roster turnover and how much dead weight you have, right? How many veterans you have that just have proven they can't hit. And that happens as well.
You saw it. It was the coach Brian Hodgson at USF talking about, he's going to go up to coaches if they start tampering with his players. And there was like an unnamed ACC coach, or maybe it was an SEC coach. Turned out it was an Auburn assistant that was at the A-Sun tournament, and they called him out on that. But it's like, what are they supposed to do? Now you've got the Big Ten and the ACC basically saying these tampering rules are antiquated. There's no point to it. And the whole thought that college sports has become a feeder system unto itself for mid-majors on the way up. But is there it's not like they're enforcing anything anyway right now, Bill, right?
We were talking about that today. Now, first glance, you see, okay, the Big Ten has said do not enforce tampering. So your first thought is, you bunch of crooks. No, everybody's crooked, right? It's not the Big Ten. Here's what I think they're saying. I think they're saying you're not an enforcement entity anymore anyways. And even if you were, you're not objective about it, and you can't possibly enforce it all. So you're going to pick and choose where your fights are. It's not going to be fair, where a lot of people doing the exact same thing are not going to get in trouble. So what's the point? That's what they're saying. Now, agree or disagree, but there is kind of a point there. Now, the flip side of that would be, okay, so let's just let people cheat, not do anything. I think we're kind of at that point already, right?
I certainly do think we are.
Any St. Patrick Days traditions, anything you do special? I know you like to get on the grill. Anything you'll do today?
Yeah, I've got a long tradition. I go nowhere on any kind of holiday for drinking,
Smart.
Whether it's New Year's or same. Now, I'll have a few pops at home. I go nowhere That's my safe bet. That's the easiest way.
That's my parents growing up, both being school teachers. But that's one of their mottos. If it's a holiday, you just stay home. You're better off.
I'll borrow one of your own terms that I heard you talking about today, and you could translate it to any of the holidays that you're thinking of. New Year's Day, maybe Valentine's, St. Patrick's Day,
Halloween.
Knucklehead season, Bill. That's what it is, right?
What could go wrong? How about everything? If you're out at a bar, everything could go wrong.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, one question I got for you, because I was thinking about this with Miami back as a college powerhouse. What other old college powerhouse do you think can get back to that level anytime in the next 2 years?
Not Nebraska. All right. I know that's 180 from your question. Nebraska, we're going on about 2 decades plus of their prominence. And they don't have a geographical footprint like Miami does. Right now, they did under Bob Devaney and Dr. Tom. They recruit everywhere. You can't get those kids anymore. And I think we're getting out of sight, out of mind with Nebraska. And it troubles me because I'm a big Red admirer from back in the day. So, again, that is not – but that's the easiest comeback I've got because I spent time on that today again. Oh, boy. I mean, are you talking about decade? I think Florida State will return. Now, they just won a natty, in 2013. That's not too far removed. But they haven't been prominent. Well, in 23, they had the season until the snub. That'd be a program that is not doing well at all right now that I think with the right leadership will be back because they have everything Miami's got. But I don't think of another one that's a blue blood that's way removed from prominence that I think's about to flip it like Miami.
I was kind of wondering about maybe Penn State. Is that still a destination program? I guess some of it has to do with how they looked the first year under Matt Campbell. Do you still view USC as potentially being able to get back to that level? I mean, I know Riley's got them in a certain place, but it's not where Pete had them. It's not the championship level. Could USC get to that place? Because that's Los Angeles. That could still be a destination program.
If they can hang on, win 9 or so games, maybe eke in this year. With the players they got coming and the news they're getting in recruiting, they absolutely can. Now, Penn State's just a year removed from being a game away from the national championship game. So, and James Franklin, was it 2016? Had the real big year where they lost opening the season to Pitt and Michigan and then reeled off a Big Ten championship and upset Ohio State. So I don't think they're nearly removed like Nebraska and some of these other teams.
What about I'm going to go to the SEC. Florida Gators got a new coach. It just seems like they're always turbulent for a while. Can they be a team that can kind of take hold in the? I mean, you see Miami doing it, and I know you said Florida State. There's so much talent in that Florida area.
Florida, since Urban Meyer, his last year was 2010, is 0 for 4 in hiring coaches, head coaches. They're 0 for 4. Now, again, we can point to Mullen did some good things. McElwain did a few good things, but they ended horribly. So I can't say that was a good hire. 0 for 4. Now they got John Sumlin, and I think this is a good hire. Now, guys, we got to get out there. They've always got dudes. Now, at the quarterback, they got the Philo kid they got coming in from Georgia Tech, and I don't really have a lot of good tape on him. If he's what they think he is, I think they're a team that could potentially win 9 games.
Last thing, are we going to see the SEC begin to relent on the 24-game playoff? And this next season, with the first 9-game SEC schedule, will that be the weight that starts the relenting from SEC members?
It's already started. Mm-hmm. You saw the On3 interview last week into the weekend. The SEC, the presidents, and the ADs, the commissioner, and the NCAA head, Charlie Baker, were in Nashville to hash this out. SEC. The media got there, Chris Lowe, and asked him, what's your thoughts on the 24-team expansion? Because a lot of talk that the SEC has been relenting to accepting that, and he wouldn't answer the question, which tells me he don't want that out yet because he's going to look like an idiot when it gets out. But I do think they're relenting, and I think the momentum, I wouldn't bet you a lot, but I think the momentum is the SEC, with that idiotic 9-game agreement, is going to end up agreeing to a 24-teamer, which means the Big Ten has played them again.
Bracket season will then be December 2. How do we even know that? Bill, always appreciate you joining us.
At that point, no more league championship game. I know you've asked me about it. That will end it.
Yeah, that would do it. Always appreciate your time, Bill. Great segments. Thank you so much. Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio, is WNSR, hosting Monday through Friday, 6 to 9, worth a little bit of your time during commercials here on ESPN Arkansas. Remember about the Clay Maxey Auto Group. They provide a level of service that maximizes your drive at every step in your car ownership experience. You'll find Clay Maxey Auto Group in Mountain Home, Harrison, Berryville, Clinton, ClayMaxeyAutoGroup.com. Believing in serving hometown communities through local partnerships, events, and programs, supporting growth and well-being of all the areas that they serve. But of course, you are interested in a personalized car buying experience, competitive, transparent pricing, and reliable, consistent repairs from factory-trained technicians. That's Clay Maxey Auto Group, asking for the opportunity to maximize your drive today. We're in the home stretch. Hall of Famer Clay Henry rejoins. You can join us. Lewis Automotive Group hotline is 877-377-6963. Halftime is back after the break.
This is halftime.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacale, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell's Lutz boxes are going to people's heads because once they experience the refined $5 box, opulent $7 box, and indulgent $9 box with the new crispy chicken crunch wrap slider, they start expecting everything to be as Lutz.
Home, James.
You know you don't have a chauffeur, right? Don't let the Lutz go to your head. Try Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lutz boxes today.
It's here, the ultimate challenge going on at the Lewis Automotive Group, and we're on a mission to sell over 600 vehicles, and we're getting extremely close. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, and more than $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back all month long. Get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models, and payments starting at only $199 a month. The ultimate savings, the ultimate selections, and the ultimate amount for your trade. The ultimate challenge going on only at the Lewis Automotive Group.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
While most people are playing for bragging rights, MyBookie is giving away $100,000 in their Madness Bracket Contest. This is about turning your ball knowledge into bankroll. Head to MyBookie.ag. Use code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and get your first bet covered up to $500. If it misses, activate your Bet Back bonus token and run it back. The madness only comes once a year. So don't just watch it, win it. Only at MyBookie. Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back, and 600 vehicles must be sold in March. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Hall of Famer Clay Henry, too. Guys, I just have a few games to pick here. I'm almost at the end of my steak. Finally, almost at the end of my steak, a.k.a. my bracket here that takes me 3 hours to fill out. Matt, Clay, I don't know if you knew this, but Matt finished his bracket during the first commercial break of the show, and here it is. We've got only one commercial break left, and I still have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games to pick from, and I've got my Final Four, but I don't have a champion.
My Final Four: Duke, Zona, Houston, and Michigan. That's my Final Four.
Who do you got, Christian? Who's your Final Four? Clay, are you allowed to divulge the family secrets?
I haven't done it yet.
Okay.
So
we'll get to it Thursday.
This is sad. Yeah, we will. I'll tell you tomorrow. I'm gonna swing by the radio booth with Wyatt tomorrow, Phil. But and he'll probably tell you his. He was right there with me at the end last year, a 9-year-old, then an 8-year-old. And that's the risk you take, is that he can do it as good as I can. I mean, there's no I don't have any wherewithal to pick these games any better than anybody else. And
I know it's funny. People will text me. I get friends texting me. My daughter, they're like, "You got to help me out with this." Be like, "I don't know what's." Don't take my advice on this.
Better off not asking me.
I'm in the middle of baseball season now. Ask me what's going to happen with Arkansas versus South Carolina this weekend. I get a much better idea.
I mean, there's so much that really can change in the next 2.5 weeks that, you don't know who's getting hot, and you don't know who's hurt, and you don't know who's thinking about their next deal.
I just know I haven't picked the 12-5 yet. I've picked two 12-5.
12-5s are the challenge.
I picked two 12. That's what everything hangs on. I picked 2 5 seeds to win. St. John's to beat Northern Iowa. I got St. John's beating Kansas in the second round. And then what else do I have here? I do. I picked Akron. Akron is an underdog, Matt. Akron is going to the Sweet 16 because Hofstra is beating Alabama. Akron is beating Texas Tech. Both of those teams are down one of their better players, and you're going to have a Hofstra-Akron matchup.
Let's go Zips.
This is fighting LeBrons, right?
The problem, the battle that I have every year in these is that I've watched some coach or some players show out, doing knucklehead stuff, and I say Dan Hurley is definitely in that category, that I've watched him do knucklehead stuff, that turns me off. Well, then I don't pick him. It jades me. And I'm pretty jaded anyway. Aren't all 71-year-olds jaded? They have.
If you're not, then what have you been doing with your life?
Yeah.
Obviously they're not paying attention to themselves.
I'm
if they're not
jaded, baby. Yeah, I'm jaded, bigoted, biased, paranoia. I got all that
cynical.
stuff.
And aren't we lucky to have you 4 hours a week with all of those characteristics, huh?
Yeah, but that's what you want, isn't it?
It's like, don't take too much time.
That's why Tommy pays me the big bucks.
Don't take too much time in these 8-9 games. It's like, so I got Florida going to the Final Four. Who cares who they play in the second game? But that's the one that's going to decide who puts the extra 25 cents down for salsa at our lunch. Right. So I'm going to go with Iowa. I have no other reason to pick Iowa other than
Caitlin Clark.
They're the fighting Brett Dolans.
Yeah.
They're going to, and I passed a car from Iowa today on my drive here. So that's why I'm going there. Vanderbilt, look, I think Vandy's actually pretty scary. Vandy and Florida.
That's who
in a rematch. Yeah. So Vandy beats. I feel like I got to pick a 13 seed to beat a 4. Nebraska, the fighting Hoibergs will go down. 2.
Man, I like
Troy.
Nebraska.
I got 11 seed. I got South Florida in the first round beating Louisville. That's probably my biggest upset in the first round.
Actually, I think Nebraska is going to win that game. So, but they won't beat Vandy. I still have Vandy beating them here. So St. Mary's and A&M.
Oh, I think I went St. Mary's.
Because it doesn't matter. I got Houston going to the Elite 8. My Final Four is Duke, Florida, Michigan, Arkansas.
Woo!
What do you got, Christian?
I have Duke, Houston, Arizona, and Michigan, with Duke beating Houston.
So I've got 3 number 1 seeds.
Duke can't beat Houston in the finals
and Arkansas
because they're in the same side of the bracket. So Duke would have to play either Arizona.
Don't tell Christian that. Okay. Don't tell him.
Let's see. You're right. I've got Duke in Michigan in the championship.
Let's go.
Since I have Arkansas in the Final Four, does that just take them all the way to the end of it, right? Just like pick them at least to beat Michigan. Why not?
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, it's really fun. It's like I'm spending the lottery's money before I even put my money down on the convenience store counter.
If that happens, I can't imagine. I'm not a Dixon Street
Arizona
guy.
has no All-Americans. If that helps you out, we have the best player. When the Arizona-Arkansas matchup, they might have more depth. They might have some.
There's an eraser on your green pencil there, Matt
I've
Jones.
already turned my bracket in. There's 3. The first team, second team, third team. Arizona had 0 players on the All-American team.
So here's my prediction. If Arkansas wins, if they win it all, I've got a buddy that's got
30-year-old Pappy.
No, he lives in the Legacy Building.
Not quite in the same wavelength there. Right?
He lives in the Legacy Building, just off of Dixon Street, kind of behind where the all the crazy stuff happens. And I'm not a Dixon Street guy. I mean, I bet you I've gone to dinner there, Bordino's and Theo's a few times, and that's just about it. In 40 years. I mean, I drive away from Dixon Street, not towards it. I mean, that's just not my thing. But if Arkansas wins, I'm going to go spend the night with him, and because I want to see that. I want to see. I heard that it was crazy in '94 and '64. I mean, unbelievable crazy. It's like burning couches and stuff like that. Not really, but sort of like that. I want to see that in my lifetime.
I've seen a couch burn before. My sister went to West Virginia University. They're famous for it there in Morgantown. Yeah. I've seen a burning couch on the side of the road.
I mean, that's not what they're going to do, but it's going to be that kind of vibe,
Yeah, it'll be more celebratory.
Yeah, but it's like, and if you can just say, all right, I'm done. I'm just going to go to the elevator and go up to my buddy Bill's place, and chill, and maybe look out the window.
Yeah. So what you end up doing is you combine the burning couches with a soapbox derby going downhill on Dixon Street. Now we're talking a real party.
Well, how could you can't get anything down. You won't be able to get anything down there. Well, I mean, I guess you could say, all right, here we come. Everybody just jumps out of the way.
Yeah, I was going to say people get out of the way of a flaming go-kart.
I think Charlie the Tuna should be driving it too.
Probably so. Oh man, this is my heart, Matt. I went with my heart with Arkansas and Arizona. I really did.
I think whenever you have the best player on the floor, you always in basketball, because we've talked about this. Offense, you play one side of the ball. I mean, as far as football, you play one side of the ball. Baseball, you have to wait 8 turns before you get to hit again. Basketball is so the best player controls everything a little bit more in these other sports.
So I thought the 3 games Arkansas played in the SEC tournament, it was criminal what teams tried to do to Acuff. I mean, they fouled him 20 to 30 times. They grabbed him. And I thought in one of those games, I don't remember which one it was. Maybe it was Ole Miss. It's like the 3 refs went in and the supervisor official says, man, don't let them do that to him anymore. And they go, boop, 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 4 whistles in like 2 minutes. The NCAA tournament, they too treat the stars differently. Like Larry Bird, I wrote this. He's more protected than the American Eagle. I mean, that's I wrote it at the time, and I thought he was when Arkansas played them. And Sidney finally just dismantled him. He didn't foul him. He just didn't let him touch the ball for like the last half.
Hey, by the way, speaking of Sidney, are he and Acuff the only AP first team All-Americans at Arkansas? So I saw
basketball. I think
in basketball. I saw because Corliss was a second team.
Yeah, the thing about the All-American teams, they're picked before the tournament starts.
Yeah,
and so I think that's that's an issue. Maybe so. I mean, you might be right.
Wow.
Well, but just think it's only 5 guys.
Mm-hmm. They only do 5. You don't get a 6th man to be
I count. If you make one of the 3 teams, I say you're an All-American.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll let it go.
There's no 2 ways about that. But it's the same thing as like being first ballot All-America, first ballot Hall of Famer, first team All-America.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah, and it's in the AP. I used to could tell you exactly who picked that. And I just like,
But that's the one that's the front. That's like, there's 18 different All-America lists, college basketball today and, whatever. And I'm sure all they have plenty of followers. But when I think All-America, I think AP. That's the first one I think.
I'm going to tell you something. They are hardly, AP is not the deal anymore. I mean, there's so many newspapers that have gone under. I mean, it used to be the stories and AP, they ran everywhere. Well, there's a lot of newspapers that don't even buy AP. I mean, it's a minuscule of what it used to be. So I kind of, but it wasn't like that, 40, 50 years ago. That's, that was 90% of what ran in newspapers was AP stories because, you had these, 12-page sections and you needed copy. And national news. But my point is, I'm not sure AP is what I would say is the thing anymore, but it's still a big deal.
Oh, that's the thing, Matt Jones.
We got it right there.
This is the one.
That was the school setup.
We got to send that to Clay too.
You got to send that to Clay.
This is. He sent us a photo of legit. This is a school setup because this is in somebody's classroom, and there it is. It's the rolling cart with the 3 levels and the tube TV on the top. Already plugged in. Oh,
that's what we had at Little Rock Central. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what this is.
Yeah, but we didn't.
This right here. This thing here says NCAA basketball too. You don't even need to say what it is you're sending him. You see that photo, you're thinking NCAA basketball tournament as a kid.
I just remember there was only one game you could watch. They only showed one. So when I was that age, there was you didn't. I don't believe that we saw Arkansas UCLA in when Arkansas beat them to kind of start the wheels in motion for them to go to the Final Four with the triplets. I don't believe I saw that.
I just remember.
Might have.
I remember there was a game in high school that they wouldn't put on television because our teachers were going to be a little strict about this, so we had to listen. We had to listen to the broadcast. It was Pitt playing against Georgia, and. Do you guys remember, was that Arkansas in the SEC yet, a Georgia guard named Laterial Green?
Yeah.
I think it was like 91 or 92, and he played for Georgia. I always remember that. That's what this TV makes me think of. It makes me think of the game that I couldn't watch. Darn teachers.
It's either 6th grade or 7th grade, but that would have been when in the 90s right there when Arkansas was doing their thing. I remember going to history class, and there were some teachers that it didn't matter if Arkansas was playing or not. They were just going to have games on anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Phil, you learned something that day that probably is really important in the development of your life.
What's that?
I don't know. Something.
Yeah, that the teacher didn't control all of my actions.
Oh, yeah, and you're in class and she played a video or something.
We got to wrap.
Did they do that back then?
Sure they did. Yeah. Heck, I had a whole class that was supposed to be like electrical engineering, and all it was watching movies. Yeah. That's education. At least it was 30 years ago. All right, we'll break. We'll wrap up halftime in just a moment. Stay with us.
I've had a lot of really good teams, but I've never had a team that has the low turnovers like this team.
This is halftime.
This is Chuck Fawcett with Chuck Fawcett Realty. When I have an HVAC problem or a plumbing problem, I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940. Blaylock Heating and Air.
So to have a red truck rolling your way today, give us a call. That's Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning for all of your heating, cooling, plumbing, and drain cleaning needs and great York Home products. It's just one number you need to know. That's 782-8940.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
10 years ago, True Grit Running Company opened its doors with one simple goal: to help people move better, feel stronger, and find their stride. Today, we're celebrating 10 years of True Grit. Join us all year long for anniversary events, group runs, limited edition gear, and plenty of surprises as we kick off 2026. Whether you're chasing a finish line or just starting your journey, thank you for being part of our story. True Grit Running Company, 10 years strong, built by runners.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Here's NASCAR Hall of Famer Mark Martin.
As a race car driver for 40 years, I survived a lot of crashes. Not everyone can run into a wall at 200 miles an hour and walk away. Without a seatbelt, I wouldn't be alive today. Now I'm retired, back home in Arkansas driving my pickup. I'm shocked how many people aren't wearing seatbelts. Why risk your life when it only takes 2 seconds to buckle up? Take it from number 6. Buckle up, Arkansas.
A message from the Arkansas State Police Highway Safety Office.
Bounce on into Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas for the best deals on new and pre-owned RVs. Whether you're looking for a motorhome, travel trailer, fifth wheel, or toy hauler, we have them all here at Crabtree. So avoid the madness of crowded cities and hotels this summer by taking your family team on the open road with the perfect RV from Crabtree RV Center. Conveniently located at the junction of I-40 and I-49, family owned and operated since 1950. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
It's the all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet at Golden Corral. Enjoy the endless breakfast buffet with carved ham, tender pork chops, pancakes, French toast, made-to-order eggs and omelets, and, of course, the biscuits and gravy. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And from 8 to 9:30, seniors get all this and a drink for $10.29. Golden Corral, 1801 South Waldron, Fort Smith. Order online at goldencorral.com for curbside pickup or delivery. Golden Corral, the only one for everyone.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, where the ultimate challenge is back and 600 vehicles must be sold in March.
Sitting at a tiny table in a ritzy restaurant. She was staring at her coffee cup. He was trying to keep his courage up by applying booze. And tall and small, when they talked it all, they both knew what they wanted.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
All right, guys, wrap things up here quickly.
Who's your Final Four?
Oh, I told you my Final Four. It's Duke versus Florida, Michigan versus Arkansas, Duke and Arkansas in the national title game, and the Razorbacks are national champions.
Oh my goodness, a rematch with the Duke. I didn't get to watch it the first time around, so that how fitting.
How did you not get to watch that?
I was indisposed.
76-72.
Oh,
That's right.
man. I got 89-87 as a final score. I feel like I went more with my heart than my head, though. I probably did.
Bill said he likes enchiladas.
Right. I told them, I said, guys, because Clay, the winner, gets tacos from the others. I told them, we're buying enchiladas for me. And then Matt's like, don't you worry about it. You're not
You like
even
cheesy enchiladas.
So who'd you pick, Matt? Who's your final
I
four?
got Houston and Duke, Arizona, and Michigan.
And the winner?
Duke.
Unit?
I have got, let's see, Duke, Houston, Michigan, and who's the last one?
This is the only way I win is if Arkansas gets in here.
Hey, I got Michigan. I'll just say
Michigan,
that. I figured it all out.
And Duke playing in the championship, and then Duke winning.
Duke, Michigan would be a fun, rematch too, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I got Michigan.
Michigan. Yeah, I like
Revenge.
I like Michigan as well.
Well, I feel like I made it to the this is a successful 3 hours. I started from when the first segment, and I just picked my champion as the music will begin playing in about 20 seconds. So that's basically about eating a steak.
Woo pig suey.
Thank you.
I'm just glad y'all are in one of these famous restaurants. I just have to sit over here with my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
It's a good thing I didn't have to pick my bracket and eat a steak at the same time, Matt. That would take until the end of Ruskin and Zach. And I got 5:30 for the baseball pregame and 6 o'clock for the first pitch, so I had to make sure I took care of that.
Let's go Razorback. Let's go baseball.
Let's go baseball tonight. That's right, and we'll talk about it tomorrow too. Clay will be with Matt on Thursday at 1 o'clock, and so tomorrow is no Clay, but I think I'll see you at the ball game tomorrow.
I might
right?
have a cameo while you're doing the show. You'll be in the booth. I might have a cameo.
Okay, well, come on in and say hello. And make sure you download the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast. It'll be ready in just a few moments. Ruskin and Zach settling into their chairs. They're getting set. They'll take up until 7, and that's halftime for a Tuesday. For Matt and the unit and Clay, I'm Phil. Go have yourself a great Tuesday.
The spring kickoff sale